you're watching to the Black Eagles podcast, a Beşiktaş talk show.
Ahmet Dursun Sergen aldı. Sergen Bülent yan yana. Sergen Bülent. Sergen. Yanında Tümer var. Tümer'e doğru aksiyon kaybetti. Tümer topu aldı. Sergen aldı. Gol! Gol! Gol! Sergen attı. Sergen attı. Şampiyonluk geldi. Sergen attı. Şampiyonluk geldi.
İbrahim'in pası. Roma. Şimdi Ahmet. İkinci gole gidiyor Beşiktaş. Ahmet. Ve
Hello, Black Eagles. Welcome back to the Black Eagles podcast. A very special episode for you today as we're going to be doing a live watch along of Orkun Kökçü's signing ceremony at the Tüpraş Stadium, at the Beşiktaş Stadium. It's going to be jam-packed. It already is jam-packed, as a matter of fact. It's going to be an insane atmosphere. And whether or not you're a Beşiktaş fan watching this, I think you will definitely enjoy watching this thing. It's just gonna be phenomenal. I think it's gonna be, for us Beşiktaş fans at least, guys, I think it's gonna be something we've never seen before. The Quaresma signing ceremony 15 years ago was insane, but I think this is gonna be even more crazy. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I mean it's hard
Potentially,
to believe.
we just need to see. I mean, with good fellas ending the boycott of Pastoral League, I think that could make a big difference. But Quaresma's signing ceremony was still in the evening room, and as good as the atmosphere can get in the Tüpraş Stadium, it's not like it's different. Like, it's not as good. We've not hit those levels. But who knows, man? We just need to wait and see. We'll find out very soon. Supposedly it starts in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Gonna, of course, introduce my co-host in a second, but first, let's have a look here at the announcement of Beşiktaş's new signing, Orkun Kökçü. So this is the tweet from Beşiktaş.
Hello amigo, how are you? Come to Beşiktaş.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
I've sorted now. I put my earbuds in so that there shouldn't be any interference with the two sounds.
Nice. And share the overlay with us too, Kaan.
Beyaz, Sipyon, şampiyon, Beşiktaş. Nefena, gökbeyaz, şampiyonsun Beşiktaş.
Nice. Well done. Hey, Kaan, share the overlay with us.
Yeah, we can't see it.
They said they can't hear you, Kaan. Oh, it says Kaan and Sinan have sound. I can't hear Kaan. Kartal. Oh, Kartal and Sinan have sound. I see.
Okay.
Thanks, Ural.
Yeah. Yeah, I was muted. I'm sorry about that. Some technical difficulties here, but we are back. Are you guys hearing it on the stream, by the way, the drums?
Yeah, I can hear it, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't even been but I still hear it.
I've sacrificed sound. So I don't want to mess anything up on the audio end.
So I think this is going to start in about...
Yeah, it looks like they're setting up. Yeah, for this week.
I mean, last week, Kaan, we referred to it as a miracle if it was to happen.
Yeah.
It just shows you sometimes in life, miracles do happen, and I think this is proof of that. A player that was wanted by top teams across Europe, and was also offered a big payday in Saudi Arabia. He chose Beşiktaş out of his love for the club, and it was. I think we've signed an amazing football player, but I think that him signing for Beşiktaş and the emotion behind it makes that even more special than the fact that he's an amazing football player, because he could have played in any top 5 leagues. There was interest from the Premier League, from Serie A. Could have played in other ones as well. So I mean, the fact he didn't. I mean, still to this day, I'm 27 years old, and I still sometimes daydream of me playing for Beşiktaş. But I think, see, when professional footballers they turn pro, I feel like they lose sight of that quite a lot. Like they start focusing on the career. I mean, how many times have we seen our youth players talk about, oh, I want to be a successful Beşiktaş, then go to Europe. But this guy was already at a top club in Benfica and was poised to make that next jump to a top 5 league, but he never lost sight of that dream he's had since he was a child, and he's not lost that love for Beşiktaş. I mean, I know Kaan, I've not actually spoke to Sinan about it, but see when he came off the plane yesterday, and then he started doing his interview, and then he teared up. My eyes filled up as well. I'm not going to lie, my eyes filled up as well, because I saw myself in him. It's just a pure love for the club. Now I can feel myself getting a wee bit emotional as well. I'm going to try and control it, but I felt a pure love for the club, and I saw myself in him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, obviously, like, I'm sure all of us have dreamed for playing for Beşiktaş. Like, some of us, most of us don't have that talent. You know what I mean? But we still think about it. We still daydream about it, and the fact that after turning pro, he never lost sight of that. He still stayed the same. He still had that kind of pure childhood dream and followed it and went for it. It's beautiful, man. Yeah. It's really, really beautiful. I think this is going to go down in the history books as one of the most beautiful moments in our history.
And we can see Orkun here on the left, by the way. I think
getting ready
to enter the stadium. Yeah. Let's get Sinan's thoughts quickly before he goes out into the stadium now. Sinan, what are your first thoughts, your first reactions to this move?
I don't know if you guys recall, but I said there was like a dream scenario where we could get like a Salih Özcan or someone, a Turk who could sort of pass as a midfielder, just so that we could like afford to have a couple foreigners on the bench, right? And that like ideally we could bring in a higher caliber Turk. And again, not in my dreams would Orkun have been that option, right? Just given the price, given the trajectory of his career. And I think when you consider the caliber of a player we're bringing in, the stage of his career that he's in, he's like not even in his prime. You know, it's funny. when you were talking about how he's a guy, he's in his prime. I mean, in a sense, you could say he's not even there yet. He's not even 25, right?
Yeah, he's turning 25 in December.
It's I mean, it's literally a move that is only possible because of the fact that he loves the club that we.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why
Obviously, we love it.
That's why I
right?
gave it the 5%. You know.
Yeah, no, because what are the odds that somebody would put that at the top of their priority list, right? And to the extent that, obviously we're suckers, right? We're donating all of our time to this shit. But to imagine someone else at that level of within their industry prioritizing it to the same extent that we do is wild, right? And I think it's the type of player that because.
So not even coming out into the stadium now, I think, or is this? This seems to be. No, this seems.
Or is it a video still? Maybe it's a video.
This is a video because.
Yeah, because the stadium's way too full to.
Exactly. Unless they kept a certain section of.
Oh no! This is the stand. Yeah, this is like the little.
Yeah, I think they just I think they kept one of the stand shot.
There's a little stand behind the desk or the platform.
Yeah. So he's walking out here. Yeah, this will be. Look at that, man. That stadium jam-packed. Sorry to cut you off there, Sinan, but...
No, man. It's...
I mean, I think this episode is probably mainly just going to be us reacting to what's happening. I mean, I want to get as much talking out of the way as we can before it actually kicks off properly. But once Orkun exits the corridor, I think we're going to... They're opening the volume from the crowd now, so we can.
Just to finish my thought on that real quick, he's a player, the likes of which is not accessible not only to us but to the Turkish Super League. Just given he's given his quality, right? And here's the thing that I think for me makes this so especially amazing is that
it's happening, Sinan, I think.
You have to love the club this much to do this, right? And our rivals, they've had so many players come back to join them. And again, as you said in the other podcast, they've been in their 30s at the later stages of their career. To be this level of a fanatic, in a way, it could only be Beşiktaş, right?
It's gonna come out now, Sinan.
Think of the type of fans that we are.
Let's enjoy There we go. Sorry to cut you off again, but...
No, man.
There he is.
That's his new number 10. Orkun Kökçü.
They should just let the fan sound in, man. The fans sound
through. I agree.
Turn up this music.
You can see he's overcome with emotion again, man.
Only best.
Very weird choice by them to. No, there we go. They're opening.
Flares.
It's really I think it's a really bad choice by the club to drown out the sound from the crowd like that.
Yeah, that's the best thing about these types of events, the crowd.
Very poor choice.
Fireworks.
And even now, the volume is low. They clearly haven't mic'd the stadium up properly.
Yeah, there's just a warning going out to the fans there not to set off flares and chuck them on the pitch. But there the fans were breaking out of chant of Ole Ole, Orkun Kökçü, child of Beşiktaş, Orkun Kökçü.
Yeah, obviously you don't want those flares on the pitch. I think we just
especially they spent the amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. Just
getting that pitch down.
Put in a new pitch this summer, so let's not get it barbecued straight away, right?
That would be so typical.
And they need to open the sound, man. Jeez, what are they doing?
Yeah, the sound quality is really bad, man.
Very low.
That's the Vashka talking now. fans chanting Orkun, fuck Fener's mother.
That's probably why they kept it low. Did you notice the other
I
day
think we just
at the
found out why.
airport they
transfer ya da imza töreni için değil.
Keep the translations coming, Kartal.
Zamanımızda son
Especially the out of
zamanlarda
context
ritmik
ones.
şekilde hissedilen bir yeniden doğuşun ve tekrar ayağa kalkışın gözle görülür hale gelişini
So I struggled to hear a bit of it just because of us talking and the volume's quite low, but he was saying that this isn't just a transfer signing, it's basically the start of Beşiktaş getting back on its feet.
kutlamak için
Hell yeah.
buradayız.
Shit.
Hepinizin bildiği gibi
On a higher perch
birçok
than
kez
we've been in a while.
Beşiktaş forması dünyanın en iyi
Theoretically.
oyuncuları tarafından temsil edilmeye layıktır demiştik. Bizimle aynı hedef.
He's talking about how we've once again shown that the sort of the best players in the world, the Beşiktaş jersey is deserving of some of the best players in the world wearing it.
Söylemiştik. İşte hiç kimsenin aklının ucundan geçmeyecek futbolcuları gidip alıp geliriz sözümüzü.
He says that he fulfilled his promise of bringing players that you'd never expect to come to Beşiktaş. He's fulfilled that promise. That's where the fans are flapping just now.
That's true. You have to give him credit for that. No,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would have believed this a week ago, let alone 2
He
months
says
ago.
today we have the happiness of getting a very special player like Orkun Kökçü to wear the Beşiktaş shirt.
Hepinizin bildiği üzere bu Orkun'un Beşiktaş forması.
He says that, as you all know, this isn't the first time Orkun's worn the Beşiktaş shirt.
Orkun bu formayı
He's been wearing this shirt since he was a child. He's throughout his childhood he always wore this shirt.
kendisinin de tüm camianın ondan beklentilerinin
He knows all the expectations of the community.
kendisi için yapılan tüm fedakarlıkların da gereğini yapacağına
And for everything that was done to bring him here, he knows that he knows what he needs to live up to, and he believes that he's going to live up to it.
Yeah, I think if people are wondering why Orkun Kökçü made this move, I think if they are watching this, they understand.
They might have a sense for it, yeah.
oluşturmak istediğimiz takımın bir simgesi olacak.
I missed quite a lot of that there, but I think he was because just obviously it's hard to hear us and that as well. But he was saying that he's going to be a symbolic player for the team.
Beşiktaş'ın evladı Orkun Kökçü'ye yuvana.
He says he welcomes Orkun Kökçü back to his home. I missed it, but I think he's going to let him speak in it.
Şampiyonluklara ulaşmak dileğiyle sözü kendisine bırakıyorum. Her zaman, her yerde en büyük Beşiktaş derken hepinize saygı ve sevgi.
So he's basically given him the mic now and saying hopefully we'll lift championships together. And then obviously he was saying en büyük Beşiktaş. I think we all know what that means.
Man, they got this crowd volume at 20% and here, man,
it's a pain in the arse.
insane. Yeah, but it's
even
still insane.
Sardar, I thought his volume's even too low as well. Especially because when we're talking to each other, our voices are so loud. Try to hear everything he's saying is quite hard. A beloved family.
Dün uçaktan inerken heyecanlı
I said I was very excited when I got off the plane yesterday.
Şimdi burada
He says here he's even more excited. He can't believe this. He thanks the fans for coming.
Başta başkanımız
He'd like to thank the president first and all the board
kurul üyeleri,
and his family.
ailem, herkese teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Bu transferi destekleri
Says he supported this transfer.
bu
They made this transfer happen.
İnanın dünyada
He says, believe it, I'm the happiest person in the world just now. Seems like he's getting a bit emotional again.
Yeah, me too.
He seems like they're calling him to the Russian.
Ben sizden tek
The only thing I want from you
istediğim
guys
takım arkadaşlarıma, antrenörümüze, hocamıza,
to
başkanımıza
support my teammates,
destek
the
olun.
coaching
Bana
staff, the
destek
president, and the
olun.
coach.
Kupalar
Support me as
kazanalım,
well.
şampiyonluklar
Let's win some
yaşayalım.
cups, let's win trophies with the permission of God.
Daha fazla da bir şeyler
Says he can't find
bulamıyorum
anything else to
söylemek
say.
için. Ve en iyisi biraz daha üçlü çektirmeye geleyim.
He says he's going to come in a bit to the Russian.
Ama
But
inmeden
before going down, I've got one more thing to ask.
Ben bir şey
Let me start something.
başlatacağım.
You guys will do the rest. I think you'll do the rest. He's starting the Gundogan chant. Anyway, let's volume up for the stream so they can hear. He's upset again. And what about him?
Alıyoruz. Sevgili Orkun Kökçü.
He's not upset, he's emotional.
I was gonna say.
En sevdiği yere.
He's very happy.
En sevdiği yere imzasını atıyor.
He says he's signing in his favourite place.
There it is. Pen to paper.
Ve Orkun Kökçü Beşiktaş'ta. Beşiktaş Orkun Kökçü'de. Başkanım, çok teşekkür ediyoruz.
Calling him over to the Russian. Man, they should have used the European font, man. This aerial font's pish.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't.
It's not that bad, but we've seen it for so long. It's like, yeah.
There we go, man. The Kartal pages.
There it is.
I wonder what lucky person's going to get that shot, man. He's about to sign it.
Probably stays in the museum.
Kaan will probably try to buy that.
Yeah, watch out, Kim. Kim, hide his wallet.
No doors. I just blew all my money on a robot vacuum, so
I bet you regret that.
well, you know, floors have never been
No,
as
I
clean.
doubt
So.
it. I doubt it. I was gonna say, I kind of need one of
Nah,
them.
but I honestly like the production's been done very badly though. The crowd volume sounds like it's on like 10%, man.
Yeah, that's not even production. That's just their sound levels, man. They can just easily turn that up.
Tabii.
That's a
Yeah.
choice.
Küçükten beri taraftar olduğum
Because now
We've
they're
gone to the broad announcer.
güzel bir histir, güzel
Alright.
bir duygudur.
Taking out my other headset.
Beşiktaşlı olduğunuzu herkes biliyor.
Wow,
Benim için
so it's done.
Beşiktaş'ta oynamak
That happened.
It's just Orkun talking in old interviews about his dream to play for Beşiktaş. And we're getting some shouted votes.
Mhm.
Yeah, the announcer. I'll let you do all that translating, Kartal. If there's anything good to relay.
And see this photo here in particular. What's so special about that? That boy's
Feyenoord,
playing
so.
for. He's against Feyenoord and he's playing for their youth team. And he's went and sat with the Beşiktaş fans in his Beşiktaş shirt. That shows you what kind of Beşiktaş fan he is.
I was there, man. Maybe I was sitting next to him without knowing it.
That's funny.
I mean, call me emotional, but I think we should just sign his brother as well, just to give that kid his dream as well, man. Because I mean, and he's not that bad. He plays second division in the Netherlands, you know.
Yeah.
He looks shockingly like Orkun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe you could use him as a like diversionary tactic. They're like, oh, cover Orkun. Like, wait, what? That's probably a Hollywood story, but it could be fun. But his brother looks amazingly similar to him and has a nice, cute kid. They were showing him in the build-up.
Transfer oldum.
Man. Can you imagine signing to?
We did good with this video, though, to be honest.
Yeah, it's very good, man.
How's the sound? I've disconnected.
It's well, the sound of the
It's
video
like
is good.
it's an audio track. Like,
I think it says an AXO, isn't it?
I think so, man. Not heard the song before, so I'm not 100% sure, but it sounds like him.
That's crazy, man.
See, this is what one of my dad's favourite singers here. Okay,
Yeah,
Whose finger is that? Get your fingers out of there, pal.
I mean,
Like,
it's a great song.
yeah. Whatever, sorry.
oh, so they got him going out there, gonna kick a ball around? All right.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I should get the sound back. What am I doing?
I mean, again, you know, like they have the music on. Exactly, turn it off. Jesus. Let's hear the fans.
They need to get. That's what, even like the fans are writing in the comments of the stream saying that's
Yeah. Just stop with the music. It's a great song, but we can listen to that song another time, man. It's not the time for that. Jesus Christ.
they need to get that volume up in full, man. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
There it goes. You can see how hyped he was. I don't think I've seen that exaggerated.
I mean,
he's one of us, man. He's one of us.
Yeah.
But he's grown up abroad as well. You know, like I think especially for us as well, like to see him and us and him, man. Like, I think I see. When I see this, I see myself in him. I feel like you two probably feel quite similar.
I mean, this is the dream you have as a kid, right? To
Yeah, it's a
stand
dream.
out there in the middle of the stadium.
Obviously, like, it's impossible. And I never had football and talent, but I still daydream about shit like this, man. You know what I mean? Like,
did you ever play My Player on FIFA?
I played that a bit, man. Yeah.
I would always just be a Beşiktaş player. As soon as I was good enough to be.
Yeah, man. I always done my career modes for Beşiktaş, man, in FIFA as well, man. People probably thought that's boring, always using the same club, but that's the club I love, man. Like, I'm not even I'd go as far as, like, when I was younger, I'd call myself a football fan, but I thought, like, in my teenage years, then and adulthood, man, I'd even just class myself. I love Beşiktaş. I'm not even that much into football as a whole, but I love this club, man. I love watching this team. It's one of the biggest passions in my life. You know what I mean? Probably after my family, like my wife and my family, it's probably the thing I love the most in this world is this football club.
Yeah. I mean, look what we're doing right now. It's amazing that someone who's like one of us is playing for the club, right?
Yeah.
And again, what I was gonna say before he came out was being able to bring in a player of this quality is something that can only happen for us, right? I don't think our rivals, just the nature of their fandom is such that you can only really see them coming when they're like 35 or whatever. Really, like, and I think
let's hope it stays that way, Sinan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, obviously. And of course, I'm sure there are exceptions, whatever. But,
I mean, this is an exception in football in general, Sinan. I don't think.
Of course it is. No, but that's what I mean, though. It's only a club like ours with this level of fandom where you have such a degree of passion, I think. I mean, I'm romanticizing, sure. And obviously there are other clubs in Europe that have the ability to do this, and they have the the position in world football to
thing,
keep players like that.
Yeah, but exactly, that's the thing, right? Like
we're not, right? We're not like that.
this isn't the kid that growing up, dreamt of playing for Barcelona or Real Madrid or anything like that, which is the pinnacle of football. This is a kid who is good enough to play for some of the best clubs in the world. Is in his not even, like you said, in the prime of his career yet, and he is choosing at 24 years old to go play in the Turkish Super League because he wants to. Yeah, because he wants to fulfill his dream.
I mean, that's what like most football players, once it starts becoming serious, they start dreaming about the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, the Liverpools. I mean, look at all these players that we've heard in interviews come through our youth academy, even when they're kids saying, I want to be successful at Beşiktaş first, but then I want to go to the Premier League. But like Orkun Kökçü, this guy's dream was just to play for Beşiktaş. Basically every other professional football, as I said, when they get serious, they lose sight of that. They stop, think of it as with a supporter's head, but this guy's never lost that, man, and I think it's such a beautiful thing, especially in this day and age, man. Yeah. Well, that's lost. It's all about fame. It's all about notoriety worldwide. It's all about how much money you can earn. I mean, obviously, Orkun's going to get a lot of money for us, but he would have got a lot more than in Saudi Arabia.
Rightfully so. You know, I mean, he's going to be one of the top earners on the team, but rightfully so. I mean, you also
and even that, he's not going to be number one like Tammy and Rafa will still be on more than him. And arguably, you could argue he's the guy that probably deserves the highest wage, considering where he's at in his career, and the fact that, I mean, well, going through the metrics last weekend, like this guy is like one of the best. Maybe he might even be the best midfielder in the Portuguese league, and he's normally from the other next step is you go to the Premier League.
This boy's number one chance creation in the Portuguese league, midfielder.
I mean, there you go, man. Like,
it's not even really debatable that he was already sort of exceeding that league and sort of ready to move on to the next stage, right? And you had big clubs from larger leagues already swooping in, who somehow we beat to him. I mean, it's to call it unprecedented is almost doing a disservice.
It is.
Right?
It is unprecedented.
It's once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
it's once in a lifetime.
I asked a question on Twitter. Like, I can't think of anyone who did this in his career, and one person said Totti maybe, but Totti, that you can't compare. Like, still Serie A, AS Roma is still a top team in Serie A. Okay, it's not the pinnacle of Italian football, but it's close. And it's still a top 5 league in the world, especially in the time that Totti was in his prime. You know, Serie A was arguably top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
Like, he's not really sacrificing that much. He sacrificed a lot. Let's not, I mean, you know, he obviously sacrificed a lot of trophies and all that kind of stuff, but still. He became world champion with Italy and stuff like that, and
what's amazing, he's reached this level at such a young age, like on the pitch, to the extent that now you wonder if you give him the kind of keys to the car, he could, like, I feel like being the leader of a team, and Beşiktaş will always be able to bring in a certain level of talent. I mean, he could very easily, you don't know the ceiling on his game yet. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't seen it yet, I don't think.
I mean,
talking about a guy here that was made the captain of Feyenoord at 21 years old. This guy's a natural born leader. He's a natural born captain. Even if it's not, he's not officially on paper the captain for this going into this season. I think Orkun Kökçü is our captain on the field now.
Do we know that he's not? Is that?
I mean, I think there's a good chance. I think that it happens and they make him the captain. But even if they don't do it, I think he will be the captain on the pitch because he's going to be the one that sets the level for the rest of the team. I think. Obviously, Rafa Silva's he's our best player, but Rafa Silva's not that kind of character.
No,
he's quite a quiet guy, but he's a fiery guy, natural born leader.
I think a kid just came on the pitch, by the way.
He did, yeah. I think he tried to get him off, but no, he's not going. I think they'll let him stay on now. He's going to do this as well. It's not even a kid; it's a fully grown man.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, acting like a kid.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I know that.
Maybe it's his brother or something, and we're missing something
I
here.
know we're just being like,
It might be.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't see. I thought it was a fan that came on the pitch, but I think this has to be his brother or something. I mean, obviously we can't.
Yeah,
see
it must be. It's like because he kind of pushed it away.
Yeah,
I thought, but then maybe it's obviously just if it's his brother, he's just joking around.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously this is like a boyhood dream for every fan growing up, but also you have to think his brother like just as big of a Beşiktaş if you think about it really, and
yeah, the full family then like.
Yeah, the entire family. Yeah.
I mean, some of the things we heard in the press, I don't know how true it is. If it's true, you could maybe argue it's too far, man. Like, they said they won't like give a girl in their hands for marriage if the groom's not a Beşiktaş fan. Obviously, if that's true, it's maybe a bit too far-fetched, but like that, if it is true, it also shows you that the passion and the
hey man,
obsession with Beşiktaş.
I approve of that because I couldn't be together with a Galatasaray fan or even a Fenerbahçe fan. That's not happening. I wouldn't be able to do that.
yeah, I've got a pretty strict policy around here too. Oh my god, this is crazy. But to be able to bring in a player of this level, I mean, it theoretically pushes up the whole club in echelon, right? I mean,
Oh, look at that! That's brilliant. Have you seen it?
wow.
Yeah, it's a great banner. Yeah,
Brilliant.
they should sell that at Kartal.
I know.
It's
They need some
fan-made,
help
but-
in the design department too.
Yeah.
Hire that guy.
Yeah,
Hire
put
that man.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Seriously, I'd buy it.
You've never seen some of those skills, man.
I mean, Quaresma 15 years ago was amazing too, but this is... I think this is even more special in a way, just because of the whole story around it and the context around it, and just this representing every fan's childhood dream. And how many, like you said, Kartal, how many young footballers that are actually good enough hold on to that dream? Because they
don't.
Yeah, they do, but they're like, yeah, you know what, when I'm 30, 31, 32, like Hakan Çalhanoğlu, like Mesut Özil, they're like, oh yeah, then I'll go, you know? And that's, I understand that, and I'm not mocking that. That's like probably the smartest thing to do. Yeah, exactly.
It's the logical thing. It's the logical thing.
Yeah, if you want to get the most out of your career, then that's probably, the most logical thing. But I think the fact that Orkun is doing this at 24 makes him unique in not just in Turkish football, but I think in world football. I'm sure there's other examples of players who have done this, but I mean, Orkun. I mean, you could take, for example, Patrick Berg. He's 27 years old, prime of his career, still playing for Bodo Glimt, could probably go abroad and have to try the dream, but he tried that already. It didn't work out, right? He went back and now he's comfortable and he's staying. But Orkun was captain at Feyenoord at 21, led them to a championship, captained them to the championship, then went to Benfica, upped his level, upped his game. 2 great seasons behind him. They didn't win a championship, but he had 2 solid seasons. He improved. He still developed. And honestly, I mean, like, this is... When's the last time, other than Victor Osimhen, and even with Victor Osimhen, that was kind of a weird situation, but when's the last
temporary.
when's the last time a player in his absolute prime, or even entering his prime, came to Turkey like this, right? Without there being a caveat of, knee injury history, or, flopped at a big club or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Osimhen's like the only similar story, but as you said, Cam, like, that was just a bit of an accident, man. He was meant to go to Chelsea. Napoli in the last minute didn't agree. The window in England shut. And then he didn't want to go to Saudi, and that was his only other option. He was to go to Galatasaray, or it was waste away, probably training away from the team at Napoli. So he kind of had to go to Galatasaray. But this is different, man. But yeah, you can say it's the first of its kind for sure, man.
Yeah. Is his dad there? I don't see it properly.
He's up in that kind of sectioned off portion, so it must be someone.
I wonder if they're going to do something up here as well.
Yeah, I wonder why they sectioned off such a big piece. Like, they could have easily filled it.
There's talk of Osimhen going to Al Hilal. Yeah, we'll see it. I gotta see it to believe it.
He's rejected them so many times. I don't think he's going to go there.
Yeah, they're gonna have to offer him 75 million a year. Hey, let's not talk about that, guys. Come on, we're here to talk about Orkun.
We've got a crying baby. Orkun's nephew or niece.
I mean,
crying.
I can imagine that it's a little much for a baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty late, right? What time is it over there?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
getting
9
on.
o'clock. You should be in bed already for like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a young one.
I mean,
it's Turkey, man. They don't know what sleep means in Turkey.
Well, babies sleep on their own schedule anyway, don't they? So.
Yeah, this is a big day for the Kökçü family as well, you know. So he'll remember this someday. Or
I wonder if Orkun is married or engaged yet. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Hopefully,
I feel like there was talk of this in the group chat recently. Someone maybe did the detective work and found out he was married or something. Did I not read that right?
I mean, I'm sure that whoever tries to marry into that family will have to pass some tough tests. I think no gold diggers are allowed in the Kökçü family.
Unless they're a Beşiktaş fan. Carly just said, thank goodness for that cutting edge lighting system, eh?
Yeah, well, the lighting system is pretty good.
It's going well.
Yeah.
That's going well.
It's good, but it costs like, what was it, double what Finnair paid for a solar system?
Nah, I don't know.
Oh, God. He had the coach connections probably on the construction side, you know?
It's like we did it on purpose, by the way. I mean, did you mention the scene? Like, we're wearing black, red, and white.
Yeah, the different shades of Beşiktaş.
Yeah.
Should have worn the Chibuku, I guess.
That's it, done.
All right. Well, maybe it'll come back up or something, or is that done? You think?
That's it. It says it came up behind me, so it says it's finished.
All right. Well, okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining us for this stream. Let's do some talking more if you guys have time.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, this is not going to be the longest episode, but that was first reactions, guys. So we had reactions during the stream, but Sinan, does this match up to the Quaresma imza töreni from 15 years ago?
I mean, I don't remember sound issues back then.
Yeah, me neither.
Aside from presentation stuff, I mean, certainly the impact on the club is, I would argue, greater. You know, you're getting a kid who, like I was saying, we haven't even seen his ceiling yet. He's entering his prime. He's only here because of his passion for the club, which you have to imagine will reflect itself on the pitch as well, which is a huge aspect of this. He's a Turk in a league with sort of stupid restrictions on foreigners, so I mean, it gives us flexibility.
Yeah.
It opens up options on the outgoing sales thing. Like, I mean, the scale of how big this is for us as a club, even in a vacuum. But then when you consider where we are specifically financially and what we need to do with the rest of this window and all of that, I mean, it's just gigantic. And again, I think, I was sort of trying to be cautiously optimistic. I hope we can compete for third place and do have a much better showing. I mean, this has to raise your expectations to some extent. Obviously, there's some other moves to be made.
Yeah.
Some big ones at that. Some very big ones. But, I mean, this is the type of player that like lifts. It's like the rising tide lifts all ships kind of scenario. I think. Yeah, I feel like this is the biggest transfer we've ever made.
Yeah, I agree.
Granted, I wasn't alive in like the '60s or whatever, but I think it's really hard to argue.
There wasn't big transfers as such in the '60s.
Yeah,
was
of course.
There?
Yeah,
There was
exactly.
No.
That was before industrial football,
Exactly.
All the money pumped into it. But it's definitely the best signing we've ever made in terms of the actual watching the ceremony from the street. I think the Quaresma one was better executed.
Yeah.
But I think that's the club's fault. I think see if we were there, it might have been different. But the club fucked it by only having like the stadium sound on it like 20%. But
yeah, if that felt like 10.
Yeah, if it was that, it's really a beautiful story, man. And they made some nice videos and stuff like that. It was a nice speech from Sardar Adil, and I want to say something about Sardar Adil as well. I think we've all kind of criticised his speech here and how he's not the most articulate of people.
That was mostly you.
Yeah,
I can't even speak Turkish, bro.
Yeah, I mean, out of the three of us, I have the best grasp of the language, so maybe I understand that more. But I think he's not the most articulate of guys, but he's very passionate, man. And you could see how excited he was there and how passionate he was there.
Yeah. And
I think he really does love this club. So if he keeps making transfers like this and he can actually cash the checks, he could lose his speech for all I care, man. Obviously,
I mean, this was a good speech though, man, and like I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It was good. It was passionate.
Yeah,
it was passionate.
Exactly, and you can tell it's genuine, and as well like the way
I'm giving him credit here. I'm kind of not apologising for saying he's not articulate because he's still not articulate, but like I think see if he can feel the passion and then he's doing good things as well. Like being articulate or not doesn't really matter when he's doing his job well.
I feel like you are a little harsh on him regardless, but when it comes to that. But yeah, how much would you give him on the speech then out of 10?
Probably a solid 7, man. That's good. That's good for me.
Solid 7. All right. Yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, what you give Sinan Adala for his speech there and what you thought of the execution by the club. Unfortunately, some sound issues, in my opinion, like really didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't get the passion of the crowd across properly as you'd like it. There were some moments where, even though, despite the fact that the volume was clearly set to 10% or something, it came true and it still gave you goosebumps. But it's not what it should have been. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. But the stadium being so packed. The crowd being passionate, Orkun being emotional, and this, like you said, Kartal, childhood dream for everyone to stand in the middle of that stadium, doing an uchlu with the fans. I think we all, I remember growing up watching when the internet was still in its infancy in the early 2000s and stuff. Watching these low quality videos of our fans doing the uchlu with Ale Makarian in the middle of the stadium and just thinking, I'd love to be able to do that myself one day, So Orkun got to live it, man.
Yeah, we're all living vicariously through Orkun today.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Sinan.
I mean, the one thing I'll say is that even the sort of things where you could find elements of criticism, we're spending a lot of money, how, you've got to make some outgoing sales or whatever. Even then, you look at how shrewd they've been in back-ending those deals, right? So many of these deals have fairly small upfront fees, And so the result is that it'll only take selling 1 or 2 guys to break even this cycle, which means that when they do the next FFP thing, we'll be cleared, and then so whatever trouble we get into next cycle, we'll start a new one. But again, so that means that the kind of recurring punishments that get worse and worse will be sort of reset. So it's actually quite clever in a way, and I don't know.
Definitely, Sinan. Definitely.
Right?
I mean, yeah.
I don't know what plans we have as far as outgoing, and I'm sure. I mean, what's I think amazing about what we're seeing so far this window is that we're getting guys with resale value to the extent that problem could sort itself out in a couple of years too, right? Like we could, like Tammy Abraham could have a really good season or 2 seasons, ideally maybe, and become such a hot commodity that you got to let him go for a nice fee, and then bam, that covers, you know. So like we're being shrewd, we're being timely, right? Like people could say, oh, you know, we're already halfway through the camp, and we haven't seen much of the starting lineup yet, but. Look at our rivals, right? Like they're literally just sorting out their first transfers, where we're kind of halfway through already.
Well, obviously, we're in more of a window because of the qualifiers.
We need a lot
of course, obviously, right?
We need a lot
and what's even more important, perhaps, you know, to measure this out or to weigh it out is to, like, I hope they don't rest on their laurels because there is work to be done.
No.
We need a winger, if not 2, right? We need a 6.
Yeah, I think
we might need another central defender, right? Right now, Tayyip Talha has played in both friendlies as the second right central back. So
that's true.
You know, we need. There's still work to be done.
If you saw the second half of the friendly today and you see guys out there like Tayyip Talha, like Najib, and you immediately see like the level immediately drop significantly, right?
Exactly.
Like in the first half, you had Paulista pinging those balls beautifully to the wings. You know, Udukai came on. Obviously, in the second half, he was great, but Udukai, you know, that's what we expect from him. Emirhan, you know, he's good. We have 3 good central defenders, and that's pretty much it. Our backups, Tayyip Talha and Najib, are just not of the same level.
Not up to standard.
The issue is, though, guys, I think, in a normal circumstance, if you have 3 very good centre backs, then you'll be sorted. But it's just the fitness concerns surrounding Paulista, and to a lesser extent Udukai as well. I think you definitely need to make sure. Like, I think if Paulista leaves and we could get someone else instead, like that. Is it Doki? I don't know how you pronounce it, but there's a guy that's been linked with us in the media.
Oh, Doki.
Sabunjoli.
We can have Doki and Udoki, by the way, which is good.
From Union Berlin, right? We were linked with him.
Yeah. So
he looks. By the way, Kaan, you like to talk about profile. That guy's profile looks fantastic. I don't know if you saw his size, his sort of athleticism. He looks like he'd be a little too good to be true.
No, I didn't. I honestly didn't look into it because Fabrizio Romano is a little hit and miss sometimes, you know, and especially
especially
if you
after Kajus.
And usually no, but also just like when he reports stuff like, oh, Beşiktaş are interested, like Beşiktaş are among clubs interested. Usually that's like, you know, like
agent stock.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression I've gotten for, you know, just like
agents use us still too freely.
Yeah, I think if we were actually in for him, then I don't think it would have come out yet, you know, if that makes sense. But, I'm just trying to.
No, there was another defender last week. We were linked to a 23-year-old from the French league.
Apparently Celtic were linked with him as well.
But nothing materialized there either. So I mean, it just goes to show you, take it all with a grain of salt. Like everything they've done so far has happened completely out of left field, right? You didn't see it coming. So I think it's safe to say we'll probably not know who we're going to get until just about done. With the one exception of Kyle Walker-Peters, which
it's
like that's happening.
It's been a full-on saga. It's been shared by the media.
And the only thing I'll say about it is we could be happy about it because we actually beat Fener to a guy in that saga for a change. So I'll take the W.
I mean, whether or not they were in for him, you know, they did.
The talk is that Mourinho vetoed it because he felt like the player, it wasn't anything to do with his quality, but they felt like because he was so uncertain about making the move, they thought, this guy's heart's not fairly into this. That's what's been reported anyway. But the fact that we've been able to get the deal over the line, well, seemingly fingers crossed. But as I said, I'm not trusting anything until it's signed now because of we've obviously had Kajust and Osai were supposedly done deals.
Do you remember what I said when that news came out? When they said that Mourinho vetoed Kyle Walker-Peters? It happened like
I can't remember.
Happened like a week ago, and I said to you guys, I think we're signing. I think we're signing Kyle Walker-Peters, and their media mouthpieces are just saying, "Oh, we didn't want him anyway." That's usually how it goes with Fener, man. If they miss out on a player, and then one of their journalists denies it publicly then it was their decision, because the whole story you just said. Kartal, that he's hard, isn't it? That's a lot of bull, because they just lured Archie Brown away from AC Milan, even though his preference was AC Milan, and they just gave him more money to get him to sign for Fener. So,
But guys, did you see though? In the English press and the Southampton blogs were all over this, resharing it. But apparently, Fener came in for him last winter, ready to pay a larger fee. And he wasn't ready to he was still trying to fight for a place in England. So they've actually been apparently looking to try to get him for a little bit longer than even this window.
I watched that. I mean, obviously, a skills video is not how you judge a player. But I did watch a skills video of Kyle Walker-Peters last night.
I've seen a couple.
I think we've got an exciting player on our hands. He does look very exciting. Certainly seems to be a very good dribbler, good passer of the ball as well. Which
great friend of Tammy Abraham.
Can cross the ball as well. I think the only potential downside is I don't think his defending is very good. It's not really bad either, but it's not. He's not a very good defender. But in terms of the technical aspect of the game, his passing, his dribbling, his crossing, it seems to be all very good. It really seems like we're getting. It's like Rosier from 2021, maybe not as good at defending, but a better dribble. That's what it looks like from the video I watched. Obviously, they are all just his best bits. I'm well aware of that, and it's not the way to judge a player unless your name's Sergen Yalcin.
Yeah,
I agree to the Gazelle signing based off of a skills
we had
video.
A comment last week as well when we were talking about Jurasek, I think it was, and one of our, I don't remember who it was who said in the live chat, he said, I think we'll miss Masuaku's ability to get out from the back with a dribble while dribbling someone and then being able to launch attacks that way. Because Jurasek is more of somebody who just steams forward, overlaps constantly. He's constantly joining the attack in a different way. Obviously, Masuaku is also a very offensive-minded, but he's more ball at the feet type. Whereas I think
Jurasek will run onto the ball more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that person, and sorry guy, I don't remember who you were, but I mean that was an interesting point that person made last week. And now, of course, with Kyle Walker-Peters coming tomorrow, he's expected to arrive in Istanbul tomorrow. What you're saying there, Kartal, that he's a good dribbler, that potentially opens up that we just shift that ability to play out from the back with somebody able to dribble up
the opposite flank.
To the other wing. One thing I am a little bit worried about though is because I think Jurasek has looked good in these friendlies, but obviously the opposition is questionable. He hasn't really been tested defensively. I think he is probably not the best defender either. And then we on the opposite wing on Kyle Walker-Peters is probably not the best defender. Especially to Premier League standards, and we'll have to wait and see how that all works out in the Super League, because Osai Samuel was really good defensively in the Super League just because he had speed, and Jurasek has speed too. So maybe maybe it won't be that big of a deal there. But I'm a little wary just right now because both our new fullbacks aren't particularly known for being the most defensively reliable fullbacks. So. We're gonna have to wait and see a little bit. I'm a little worried, but I think at the end of
the solution for me, Kaan, the solution lies in our ability to get a really solidly defensive six.
I was thinking
really
that
come back, who you can depend on to sort of form a solid back three if they're both getting caught up front, whatever it is, right?
Exactly.
So that's gonna be a huge. I really love the profile of Kajust. There's a part of me that really hopes that Murat Uzen is the guy who's right in this current media cycle.
And Sinan, it's interesting that you say that, because a six that, for example, drops back down in between the two central defenders, and you have Urukai and Gabriel Polisa who are able to go wide a little bit, or other two guys, Jurasek is able to join the attack essentially full time. Kyle Walker-Peters can slot into the midfield perhaps as an inverted back. So there's so many tactical possibilities with these that could offer to us if we sign the correct number 6 now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it to me that's now, in a way. I mean, we've been putting off the fact that we've needed a winger as our number one priority since the beginning of the summer, but in a way that 6 is now kind of a number one priority. But I mean, no, like it's like 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
Choose
but
which it
but
is,
the winger, I mean, there's hype there, and not just from the journalists, because there's always hype from journalists, right? But even I think the vice president said something that kind of hinted that there's gonna be a move in the not so distant future, and I don't think they mean Kyle Walker-Peters. And there's a lot of talk about a very high profile winger. Firat Gunayer yesterday said that I don't remember exactly what he said. I'll try and find that tweet. But Jadon Sancho is somebody that's being mentioned right now, and of course it's somebody that's being linked to a move to Juventus at the moment. And I know there's a lot of people who aren't super keen on him because of the issues he's had at Manchester United, the fact that also Chelsea decided to pay a fine rather than sign him and stuff like that. But those are the types of names that are being talked about right now. Firat Gunayer, I don't know if he was the first, but do you guys remember? I think he was the first, and he tweeted the Portuguese flag and the Turkish flag, and that was clearly Orkun Kökçü that he was referring to at the time. And then the
I think Ertan Suzgun was actually the first person to report Sancho like 9-10 days ago.
Yeah, Sancho.
About it last week.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Orkun.
Orkun, I think. Yeah,
he's talking about for the track record.
Yeah.
It was Firat.
I think it was yesterday. Firat said something about Jadon Sancho, where I think it came down to what previously seemed impossible now doesn't seem so far-fetched or something. But I'm just trying to look for the tweets at the moment.
Yeah, I think I can remember a tweet like that as well.
Yeah. It's the 13th today, so let's see. I'm just trying to look for that tweet. But for example, Jadon Sancho, somebody's being named. Raheem Sterling, of course, was being talked about by Eagle Media. I think Raheem Sterling definitely. I mean, in my opinion, that's somebody you want to stay away from, right? Like that's not a transfer you want. Jadon Sancho, the biggest issue with him, I think, is just that he's on very high wages. But he is a type of player where you're like, I find him interesting. I know there's a lot of people who aren't on board with that, but I think, he's somebody who, for the right price, definitely worth to take a punt on, because we did see when he went back to Borussia Dortmund that he kind of rekindled his flame a little bit. Also, one of the issues I think he had at Manchester United is, especially when he was playing under Ole, is Rashford was there and Rashford was on the left, and for Sancho mainly shown when he played on the left for Dortmund. So I'm just trying to find the tweet, but I'm unfortunately not able to find it. Yeah, so there's talk about, there's a lot of hype going into potential winger, and I think that's probably going to happen relatively soon as well. And really, tomorrow Kyle Walker-Peters arrives. That's another transfer in the bag. Then it's really only just the number 6 and one winger, and I think then we can start talking about, okay, let's start talking about squad depth now, right? Because
yeah,
I feel like Kenny Arroyo deserves a proper run in the team, and if you then can add somebody like, not somebody I'm in favor for, but this has been floated out there, but somebody like Irfan Cankavici, for example, and have them kind of vie for that right winger position. If you then already brought in a good left winger, you have Joao Mario who can slot in on either wing in a pinch.
I thought you were going to say Kerem Aktürkoğlu.
See, I wouldn't be opposed to Kerem, coming.
But Kerem would cost around 20 million euros, Kartal. Would you pay 20 million for Kerem? Because I wouldn't, man.
I mean, it's a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
Could we afford a third deal with it's that high in the transfer fee? Probably, maybe if they pay over 5 years again, like the first two. But I'm just saying for the record that I wouldn't be against Kerem Aktürkoğlu coming. I know a lot of fans are, but I think he's a good player and he could certainly be the solution we need at that left wing position. He fits with the profile that we're after. A left winger that can kind of be a left wing forward and scores a lot of goals.
Just looking, so... Firat is definitely teasing Sancho. He had like a tweet.
The English flag or something?
No, I mean he had a response to somebody in the comments, and he said maybe I'm preparing for Sancho and stuff like that. So like, there's definitely some rumors out there, but I can't find the tweet that we were talking about, Kartal. I think maybe it was like a quote, something he said on his live stream or something, and
perhaps
maybe it was something like that. I'm just gonna keep.
Kartal, you're getting chirped in the chat over here. I don't know.
Getting chirped.
No, I think he was just saying that he thinks I wasn't looking too happy. So he says if we're not going to smile today, when are we going to smile? That's what he's saying.
Smile, Kartal. That's funny.
Yeah.
Man, this is this whole summer, man. I had a feeling it was going to be a crazy summer, but I expected to be let down way more than I have thus far. I'm still somewhat shocked that we're in this place. I don't even know how we still have Gedson, for example. Like, I thought there was no way we'd get out of that Orkun thing with that, even 50% of his contract.
How many players have we signed?
Possession.
We signed Jurasek, Tammy, Orkun. 3 players, right? Am I missing someone?
And
4 if you count Kyle Walker-Peters.
Yeah, but no, I'm not counting. Yeah, it's not official yet, but okay.
And I think Joao Mario became official.
I'm not counting that. But okay, so Kyle Walker.
Yeah, no, but I'm just thinking for the finances.
But
still, I think we've been under 10 for this window.
Well, we didn't pay anything for Jurasek. We didn't pay anything for Orkun this window. Orkun's fee doesn't start getting deducted from our piggy bank until next year, so that's 0. Tammy, I think we paid 2, and then we paid 2 for Joao Mario. That's 4. So
5 for Udukai.
And 5 for Udukai. So 9 million.
So under 10.
So
right. Under
so
10.
around 9 million spent right now. Unless I'm missing anything.
We could just sell Al-Musrati and break even.
I mean, let's hope that whoever wants him didn't watch the friendly today then.
yeah, true. Although I will say, I think he got a little bit better after we were all shitting on him. Like, he kind of eased into the match by the end. But he was terrible.
He gave the ball away like 3 times in a dangerous position at that point.
It's probably just got to the point, man, that like this guy knows he's not staying here. He doesn't want to stay here.
I think so too. Yeah.
We need to get rid of him, man. It's time to say goodbye, man.
Yeah, no, I
he's prone to mistakes, but I don't think we've ever seen him give away the ball like that 3 times before in the game.
Yeah. No, he came out of the gates today just like ready to leave. I thought, like, why am I playing? Like, he didn't seem to know.
I mean, it's
Proteus 35.
Proteus 35 subscribe to the channel.
I often feel that it's like he's not too serious, and like especially in a friendly, I can understand that. But if it wasn't like an issue in like league matches and stuff like that, I wouldn't really care that much because it's just a friendly. But like this is an issue. Like this is the reason why why he hasn't really been a success, right? Because
you can't really rely on him in any.
Yeah.
Especially in that role we're talking about, where you need someone who can be really relied on defensively to sort of step back into a back 3. Yeah. But like I thought he could be that. It's sad. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Whatever. Shouldn't dwell on it. It's over.
No. Yeah. We just have to hope that. But I think in terms of recruitment, we really have to give you have to give the club credit for doing a great job so far. And I think, the squad is really taking shape and already looks so transformed. Not just because of these new signings, but also if you see today, Demirege, Kartal, Yilmaz, and in both friendlies, really. I mean, suddenly we've gone from having really
no depth.
Well, we did have depth. We had Ox, we had Amir, but the quality of that was very questionable, I thought. And now I kind of feel like not only do we have 3 Turkish players with Orkun, Kartal, and Demirege, but we actually have quality now, because Demirege looked in these friendlies, you could see the progress he has made at Rio Ave. That's that it wasn't just a coincidence that all those teams were being linked and being interested. So you have a player that is definitely matured there, and of course, first match was against St. Pölten, which is a second division team in Austria. I think today's opponent, Wacker, are at least in the first division, but still questionable.
No, both of them are second division.
Both of them are second. Okay.
Actually, so Admira was just out of promotion. They're in second place and competing, and actually St. Pölten was in fourth and pushing up for it. So I mean, at least both were relatively competitive side in that sense.
But at the end of the day, the second Bundesliga in Austria. So obviously these matches are largely for match fitness and all that kind of stuff. But still, I mean, I feel like our team already looks so much better than last season just with that alone, because we haven't really seen any of the new transfers other than Jurasek. Because Tammy hasn't played yet; he hasn't even been in the squad yet.
I would have liked to have seen him play today, man. Surely he could have played a wee bit today, man. It's a bit weird.
I mean, if the staff feels like let's not take any risks with him, you do have to keep in mind he's only been back from his ACL injury since April 2024. So I think it's best not to rush him, right? And just ease him in. We have 2 more friendlies to play before the Shakhtar game. I'm sure he'll play in the next one. But
put your faith in Mr. Northeast, Kartal.
Yeah,
he knows what's going on. No, I don't know. I feel really good about where we are right now. We have to make a few key moves still, and obviously you'd like to see someone outgoing. Worth mentioning, Ernest Mucci has yet to feature in either match.
I think he has some sort of injury.
Really? I see him in the training pictures.
He got injured against Bodrum, remember?
He's injured.
He got injured against Bodrum. He got injured against Bodrum in the last game of the season, and I think he's still kind of recovering from that. I think he's still kind of he is.
I feel like he's always injured as well, man.
He was never. That's the thing, man. He was never injured before he came to us, and now he's picked up. He didn't have any injuries last season, the 6 months he was with us, but this season. This past season, I think he's had 2 or 3 or something like that. Yeah, so a little unfortunate. But I mean, I think for me, Rasica, Mucci, Musrati, those are my top 3 of players I want to see sold.
Obviously Ox is at the top, but you don't even that goes without saying.
Ox goes without saying, but that's gonna get any money for him. That's just tear up the contract and pay him something to go. But Musrati and Mucci are 2 players we should be able to get fees for. Rasica will have to wait and see, maybe a small fee. The Borussia Mönchengladbach rumors that have been pushed in the media, they, I believe, got denied by Rasica's agent last week. So, let's hope that there's some takers. I mean, today, Rasica was one of my sticking points in that friendly. And I know it's just a friendly, but I think that's one of the most important things is we've tackled the issue that we had at the back positions, where we had 2 elderly statesmen at the back positions. And don't get me wrong, I like Svensson, and obviously Mosowako had a great season as well, and he's a quality player. But at the end of the day, if you want to play a high-pressing, high-intensity game, which Ole definitely wants to play, you need some legs there. And then exchanging those 2 guys, one guy coming 28 years old, coming out of the Premier League, and the other guy coming from Benfica, 25 years old, Czech international. It's definitely, I think, a move in the right direction. Whether or not they work out or not, we'll have to wait and see. But at least on paper, that looks great. Then we have Tammy Abraham.
And really good business.
Yeah, and we finally have a target man striker now, something we needed with Tammy Abraham. And now Orkun, the player that I think Kartal has been drooling over, not particularly Orkun in itself, but just the
because I didn't think that was possible. Then. I thought it was possible.
But that's the profile that you've been saying for, 18 months now that we need? And, you know, that's also going to transform the way we play, because now we're going to play a different brand of football probably. But even today, you know, Demirege also kind of playing that role, and Kartal also kind of playing that role a little bit. Of course, not at the same level as Orkun, especially Kartal, but still, you know, those are two players that are going to offer a lot in depth and also offer youth, because Kartal 24, Demirege, I think, how old is Demirege? 20? I think he just
21.
21. Okay, he's 21. So a lot of youth, a lot of energy in the team there, and now it's really going to come down to getting that one marquee winger, and then once we get that sorted, we need the 6, of course. But once we got those two,
And Kaan, you didn't mention the Okafor thing with Tammy Abraham.
yeah,
Didn't Tammy Abraham say in an interview, right? So go ahead.
He mentioned it. There was an interview today from BN Sports, but I don't know. I don't think it's too much. But he said something along the lines of if Noah Okafor comes or something. But I don't think it will be Okafor anyway. But if we can sign those two marquee signings, so let's say it's Kajust or whatever, somebody else in number 6, and then a left winger. Yeah, I'm just going to say Jadon Sancho. Let's call it Jadon Sancho. Then we can start looking at depth. And in midfield, we're good already. So I think we need, ideally, maybe another player like Kyle Walker-Peters, I was going to say. But we have Typhoon now, and Typhoons look good in these friendlies.
Yeah.
He can provide backup in both back positions, so he's an option there. Maybe get Taha Şahin from Çaykur Rizespor if he's not too expensive. Then you have Taha Şahin and Tayfur for the back rotations. And then really, if you can get one more winger, for example, Irfan Cankavici, again, someone I'm not in favor of, but if he's not going to be expensive, let's call it 3 million euros or something like that. That's an interesting option then, because then Kenny is the number 1 and he can rotate with Irfan Can, for example. It's just a scenario. And then I think other than that, we just need to get a good second striker. Very important in my opinion to get a good second striker. Because if you look in these friendlies, Mustafa, man, he's not
getting it done.
It's not it. And Simi only played 45 minutes. He did get on the scoreline, but again, like where are those runs? Why aren't you pressing?
You can't
properly?
trust him, man. After you can't all of a sudden trust him again after what we saw last season.
Exactly. I don't think we can trust either of them going into the season. We need a second striker, and I think once we get that second striker, and maybe another winger for rotation, and maybe a fullback, I think we're good then, right? I don't really know if there's anything that's super pressing after that.
And I think going into the summer, I felt like none of us thought we'd make this much progress by this time. Obviously, the president said 3 transfers by the camp, and that actually wasn't fulfilled. It would have been if Osai came.
I'll give him a pass, man. I'll give him a pass.
Yeah, but I never genuinely believed that we'd have the transfers we have in now. By now, I didn't think it was going to happen.
I mean, and if Osai's dad didn't happen, we would have had 3 transfers before the camp.
Yeah, but I think it's a blessing in disguise. If Kyle Walker-Peters comes tomorrow and signs on the dotted line, it's a blessing in disguise because you get a much better player.
For sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
The same age, roughly. Maybe they're like a couple of months apart, but you have one player that a lot of Premier League clubs were after, and Fenerbahce were after, and other clubs were after, and then you have another player who, other than us, only championship sides were interested in. So I mean, I think that's telling. And obviously, there's that Premier League bias, and Kyle Walker-Peters is a proven name in the Premier League. So there's obviously gonna be more interested from the Premier League. But still, and even though the interest, from Chelsea and from Tottenham was probably just as a backup, but there was still that interest. And whereas with Osai, like, there's a reason he just joined a team that just promoted to the championship, and he's going to be played.
Is Graham Potter the coach at West Ham?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just reading an article about how they're talking about how he might leave because they didn't sign Kyle Walker-Peters. So we're like destroying clubs in the wake of our transfer window. So that was funny.
Surely not.
I mean, I don't know how accurate it is.
Surely not.
I don't know how accurate it is, but apparently, so it's like a huge position of need, and they had their eye on him for quite a while, and so they were like, "How could we lose this guy to Beşiktaş?" It's like, fucking West Ham.
You have to wonder though, because like the reported wage he's gonna be on. I mean, we haven't really heard. The wage he was asking for reportedly was 2.5 million. I don't know what we ended up giving him. Let's say we gave him 2.5 million. But even if we gave him 2.5 million, that's not something that
not unheard of.
It's not something that West Ham shouldn't easily be able to match. Like they won the Conference League, or what was it like last year? And I'm sure they're in Europe this season again. They should be easily able to afford that without a problem. So maybe that's why Graham Potter is upset, because he probably feels the same way. But yeah,
I think maybe the friendship between Kyle Walker-Peters and Tammy Abraham is being like underspoken to some extent, because it really does. The extent to which they are interacting on social media with each other, I mean, it's pretty evident that they're friends, not just like former teammates or whatever, but they've clearly stayed in touch. I think they were hanging out in the off season, right? There's this connection with Dele Alli, I noticed, between the three of them as well.
Yeah, but they're all the same generation, Sinan. I think they all played for the.
Maybe they played on the under-19s.
Abraham and Walker-Peters were born in '97, and Dele Alli was born in '96. So there's only a year between them. Is Kaan saying?
So they came up in the
they played for the under-19s, under-21s at the same time.
And Sancho too, I think. Sancho's a little younger, I think.
Let's check. I'll check Sancho. I think Sancho's younger.
I think Sancho's from '99, but that's still plausible that they played at the same age. And Rashford.
Sancho's 2000, March 2000.
Oh, 2000. Okay, Rashford's definitely the same age though, because he's 27.
Yeah, Rashford's 97 as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that was being like, I talked about it with Ural the other day, and look, I don't think we're getting Rashford, because that would be absolutely insane. That would be even more insane, I think, than that would be like Osimhen level insane. Not because of the name or whatever, or because he's so good or whatever, but mainly because of the money involved. Because Orkun, okay, we paid 25 million, we're giving him 5 million a year, but Rashford, he's on 20 million a year or something at Manchester, or 17 million a year or something like that. So like that's not net, I don't think. I think that's gross, but like even then, like you'd have to give him like 11-12 million or something a year or something. So but the thing is that I don't know if you guys remember, but there's like some serious teasing going on, like that the striker that the winger we're in talks with is really gonna blow minds. I think somebody, a relatively reputable journalist, even said like it's on par with Orkun. So like, who checks that box? Damn. And the only person I can really think of is Rashford, because you could make an argument, I guess, for Jadon Sancho, like in the Turkish context of how they call everyone a Dünya Yıldız. Then you could kind of see that, and you could also kind of see Raheem Sterling, because Turks love players who are over the hill. But in my book, the only person who kind of checks that box is Rashford. I'm not saying we're getting Rashford. I don't think we can. I think that's like way beyond our pay grade. Like, I would imagine Manchester United wanting at least 40 million euros. Barcelona are reportedly in for him. Jadon Sancho, I think, is a little bit more realistic, because you could probably get him for like 20-ish million or something like that, because, I think Manchester United are really desperate to get rid of him. But 20...
What if it is Kerem Aktürkoğlu? That would be... No. Because you think about how much it wouldn't... So, it would be as big in that it would be hurting our rival, right? You think about Galatasaray and how butthurt they'd be for
would they be though?
Forever?
I don't know if they would. I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they'd kind of turned on him a little. Yeah. I mean, certain factions.
They turned on him big time. Yeah. Kartal, your thoughts? What do you think? Who do you think this mystery winger is that they're hinting towards?
I don't think it's Rashford, man. I think it's going to be. I think it's Sancho. I do think it's Sancho.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think. I don't know, man. I think maybe we're spending too much money if we bring Sancho. I wouldn't mind a more a player that's cheaper and a bit less heavy on the what do you call it, the books. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, it's like and I know I'm gonna piss some people off here, but I would be all for Sancho because I think
I'd be for it, man. See if they can actually cash the checks. I'd be for it, but
yeah.
As a Beşiktaş fan, you're always worried about like there'll be an issue paying wages.
No, but but there's a lot of people who are against Sancho because of his bad reputation, right? Like he has this reputation of being arrogant. He has the reputation of being a bad trainer and stuff like that because of what Ten Hag said. But then I think like the whole situation that happened between Sancho and Ten Hag, I find very interesting because I don't think a player, if it was really true that he was such a bad player, and if he was such a bad trainer, I don't think a player would put his foot on the ground for that long and say, no, I'm not apologizing, because like he genuinely seems to have felt wronged by Ten Hag and seems to have felt like they used him as a scapegoat. And I mean, I don't know, like it doesn't just quite compute for me that and if then he goes to Dortmund and he like I cannot imagine that you play for Dortmund and play that well in that system with that intense gegenpress and you're a bad trainer. I'm sorry, that does not make sense to me. Like I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you.
Yeah,
what
I guess you're right. If
think.
you were that, to underscore, I think what you're sort of getting at, Kaan, is that if you're that lazy, wouldn't you just be like, I don't want to play in this system, get me out of here, right? Right? Like that would be a much easier option than making a thing out of it for the entire year on the
and also like one of the things, like they treated him poorly because whether or not he was a bad trainer. I mean, let's say he was. Let's say he was, and Ten Hag was right. I still feel like Manchester United treated him poorly, and then they expected him to take a pay cut. I don't think a player who feels mistreated is ever gonna accept a pay cut. Like, what are you thinking? Like, like it doesn't make any sense. And you know, this past season at Chelsea, he didn't do bad. He was okay. He wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination. And Chelsea took a fine not to have to trigger that buyout. But still, like, you know, like I still think that somebody like Jadon Sancho could really tear the Turkish league apart. He's in his prime. He's 25 years old. He's had some mental health issues back in 2022, I think. And there's, you know, I think Ömer was likening him to Dele Alli, but I think that's a bit of a stretch there.
Unless he's addicted to drugs and alcohol and we just don't know about it yet.
No, was it sleeping pills? It was, right? It was sleeping pills.
Yeah, still drugs.
Yeah, but that's
not. Sure
but when you say drugs, you know, I think cocaine or ecstasy or something, man.
Yeah. Heroin.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's also, I think, you talk about mental health, right? Like everyone talks about the value of like a change of scenery, first of all.
Yeah.
And obviously, like if you love playing football, Turkish football is a great scene. It's a great sort of experience. But then you also couple that with the fact that he has, again, these guys from his home country who are of the same generation, who he's been playing with for all these years, who have the relationships we already talked about. So suddenly, it's like you're getting this change of scenery. You're in this great football situation. You're with people you're comfortable with already, who you can spend time with off of the training pitch and all that, right? Like, it's actually, I mean, it'd be a pretty good scenario to kind of get back on track, I would say.
And I think Tammy Abraham is, like, he comes across to me like a really great Abi. I think he could be that for someone like Jadon Sancho, who maybe needs that.
Yeah.
So, like, for me...
Yeah, very upbeat, happy guy. Yeah.
For me, the main issue with Jadon Sancho is the cost. Like, okay, maybe transfer fee won't be too bad. I mean, too bad. We're talking 20 million or something. That's still ridiculous. But, like, maybe that wouldn't be the biggest issue. But I do think, like, his wages would be pretty high, probably. I don't know exactly what he's making at Manchester United now. Like, if he would be willing to play for the same net wage as he plays for right now. But usually when people come to Turkey, they expect, like, a pay bump. because like if you look at what he probably makes at United, let's call it 10 million. So then net he's making about 5. If he'd be willing to play for that, might be worth a punt. On the other hand, it's not like with Orkun where you're essentially, God forbid he gets an injury or anything like that, but essentially you're getting a sure thing, because Orkun has never flopped in his career. Everywhere he's only been at 2 clubs, but everywhere he's been successful.
And he's good in his performance.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not the case with Jadon Sancho. With Sancho, you're taking a risk. So I think if we were to sign Sancho, it would have to be an option to buy, in my opinion. It would, it couldn't be an obligation. It can be a deal structured like with Orkun and with Abraham. It would really have to be an option to buy.
For sure. By the way, and they've mentioned that in the chat now. Starpair did, but I did see that the Daniel Malen.
Daniel Malen, yeah.
Daniel, is that possible though? Like how? I feel like the trajectory he was on, like the last time he was on my radar,
he had a bad injury at some point.
Is that why? Okay, so I was wondering like how he could even be reachable for a club like us, given what I like imagined he would be at this stage. Where is he playing? Like, what's the
Dortmund,
story?
but I'm gonna. Well, actually, no, he's not. He's at Aston Villa nowadays. He was at Dortmund, but I think he had an ACL injury at some point. Let's see. He had he joined Aston Villa in January. He played 17 games, scored only 3 goals, and in the first half of the season for Dortmund, 21 games, 5 goals, 1 assist. The season before that for Dortmund, 23-24, he had 15 goals in 38 appearances and 3 assists. I mean, Daniel Malen, for me, he's a good player, but like, mwah.
Not enough.
I was never a huge fan of him, to be honest. Good player, though.
Yeah, I was just surprised.
Don't get me wrong, but
I was surprised to hear that he'd become, at a level that we could be linked to him. I really thought he was poised for like stardom, especially I remember him being linked to Premier League side. I mean, I guess he made it, sort of. Topper says, if we talk about Sancho and Rashford, why not Malen? Beladam says it would be really good if we could sign Davitashvili.
Yeah.
That was a group chat favorite, right?
Yeah. Also, by the way, check this tweet out from Toya Hutchinson. Picture it. It's 2033, 10 years after his father retired, and you see him come out of the tunnel wearing Hutchinson 13, and he steps on the pitch to boss the midfield like his dad.
Yeah, it'd be nice. And another thing as well, that another nice detail about that, it wouldn't just be 10 years after his dad retired, it'd also be 20 years after his dad made his debut for Beşiktaş.
Nice.
Because he was stayed for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard not to love just the fact that the player's sister is talking about her nephew in that way, right? I mean, clearly the club has a meaning for that family. That's awesome.
I mean, the fact that, can you guys think of another foreign player that never left Istanbul and stayed there to live?
No. Numa maybe, but he didn't. He left and he came back.
He left and then maybe
and
he's
I'm
come
pretty
back.
sure Numa kind of goes back and forth.
I think so.
Istanbul,
it seems like it.
Because I'm sure his kids are in, like, his son was in a football school in France, and well, the one time I met him, he was in the airport. So, and what I've heard before as well, that he goes back and forth a lot. So I don't think he actually lives in Istanbul full time.
He probably has a house there, though. I mean,
I'm sure he spends. I know he spends a lot of time in Turkey for sure, though.
Yeah.
But Atiba full time lives in Istanbul.
Yeah, you definitely can't compare it exactly to that. There's some great. Kartal have shared some videos here with better sound quality, I have the impression. But yeah, definitely go and check those out. I'll bring it up here. But go and check that one out yourself. This one seems to be a good one. Is that not working? That was
They just got rid of Kartal.
Yeah, that was
disappeared. Kartal.
that was the wrong button. Here, no, this one. But
We can't hear it, can, but I suppose the viewers can.
I think they can. I'm not 100% sure if they can. No, they can't. So it's kind of useless that I'm doing this. Definitely go and check that out, though. It's a great one.
Yeah, I'll need to look at it once we're off the stream.
Yeah. All right. Should we get into some comments? I mean, we speculated a little bit, but let's see what the people have to say about all this stuff. And in the meantime, I'll look if there's any other interesting tweets that we can talk about.
Put up there. Mm-hmm. So we had a new commenter, Recep Azulev said salam. Welcome, Recep. Jason, hi guys. Hope you had a great weekend thus far. Is it the weekend still? Jeez, it's been a long weekend. Orkun is the biggest transfer since Q7, and I haven't been as excited about transfer since Pjanic. I know, shocking in hindsight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say he's bigger than Q7. I mean, we've already been over that, but yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be a fan of Beşiktaş. Nathan Davis, what's up, fellas? Let's hope the energy carries over to Tüpraş remaining packed once the season starts. Yes, that's a good
definitely.
Call.
I mean, I expect the packed stadium against Shakhtar. It has to be entirely full, right? It just has to be.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And hopefully that momentum can lead us to a big win, so that we don't have to get it
messed around.
Yeah, so we don't have to get a result away. Yeah, or a big result.
Atilcan, Malak, tekrardan hoş geldik. Yes, we're back again.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hear Kaan. Thanks for all the audio input, everyone. Lots of audio back and forth.
I'll show this.
Back.
I'll let them hear this Uchlu in the meantime, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Now they can hear it. That's amazing stuff, man. That's amazing stuff.
Yeah, me and Sinan didn't hear it, but
no, you'll have.
I can only imagine.
You'll have to watch it. You'll have to catch the replay, boys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. By the way, guys, you'll hear us talk about this from time to time. Our great, fantastic WhatsApp group chat community. If you see that QR code in the middle of your screen there, next to the Come to Beşiktaş and Orkun's cartoon image there, just scan that with your phone and join us in the WhatsApp group chat. And we talk Beşiktaş 24/7. It's really a great community, and we'd love for you to join us there. Please consider scanning that code.
Speaking of said community, we have Atilcan, who's in there. He says Adala looks very proud. Carlito, also in that community. The financier says even Adala looks emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Atil, this is old school Beşiktaş. Atil says, Kartal, the volume on the stream sucks. Everyone in the comments are complaining. Nathan Davis says, Roombas are the truth. For Kaan and his vacuum cleaner talk.
It's not a Roomba, it's an Ecovacs. Ecovacs X9 Pro.
Mario said that was beautiful. Lots of Beşiktaş emojis, which you too can have access to if you become a advanced tier subscriber for us here on YouTube. Check that out for sure. Mario Vargas, I've never been this excited for a player. Yeah, fittingly, I don't think we've had a player to get this excited about come in. Atilcan, oh my God, it looks like a video game. He probably meant with all the lights. You can thank Hasan Araf for that.
Yeah.
By the way, Carlito, damn it, fire the media team. Oh, they're talking about the volume.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Belaram says he is our Totti now. That's a good comp. Go ahead, Kaan.
Yeah, no, just a tweet from Beşiktaş, by the way, in the middle of your screen there, Sinan. We just witnessed Orkun Kökçü live the childhood dream of millions right in front of our eyes. It's a perfect tweet, right? From the English Beşiktaş account.
Yeah, that must be a real fan, too. We like to see it.
Good English, by the way.
I mean,
Yeah,
most of the,
I mean, they've been on point lately.
It's gotten a lot better over the years.
It has been.
Before it was
It
terrible.
has, yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible
That's
for
true.
a while.
We used to talk shit, so we got to give them credit.
Yeah.
Where were we? Carlito, crazy images, but the sound, Jason, the set design is admittedly superb. Ozan Emre Demir, do you know a similar story, a transfer like Orkun?
No, I can't think.
No?
I can't think of one. I really can't.
Neither can I.
No. There's a
Atil, that's one of the best Uchi I've ever seen. Yeah, the wild Uchi, that was a big one. Do we have sound on this one?
I do have sound on it, but it's really, really loud, so I'm just gonna turn that off. And I'm just gonna play it in the middle of the screen. You can keep.
While I read, keep reading.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nathan, I'm sure the club will release a produced video with the sound fix, but it'd be nice to be able to hear it now. Yeah. Sarper with the hearts. Jason, beautiful words, Kartal. Belaram, and we did sign him in his prime. Yeah, maybe not even yet. He might not even be there yet, which is even crazier. Liverpool, this is Jason. Liverpool would have made sense with Arne Slot and even some links I saw towards him, so this is crazy. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the big clubs looking at him supposedly, along with Inter Milan and a number of others. Belaram, he will be third cap for sure. Yeah, so I guess it's Rafa Silva, Mert Gunok, and then he would be third.
Rafa Silva captain? No, surely not. It's Necip and Mert, right?
Oh, I thought. Necip. Sorry. What? Someone said Rafa earlier, and
we said that
got stuck in my head.
We said he wouldn't be suitable for. He's not a captain. That's what we said.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
I mean, he's a great player. Probably,
Necip, obviously.
Yeah.
Necip was captain.
But just a point to what you were saying there with Hakan Çalhanoğlu, with Inter Milan, of course, being interested in Orkun. They actually, interesting, juicy detail. They saw him as the ideal replacement for Hakan Çalhanoğlu if they were to sell Hakan to Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Funny how that
and
turned.
I think the plan was to get 30 million off of Galatasaray for Hakan so that they'd be able to finance the deal for Orkun, but obviously it didn't work out because Galatasaray could only afford 10.
Every bit of the story gets juicier. Oh, you love it. You love to hear it. Belaram said, that's a wee man. Oh, that must have been the guy who came out. I think that was his brother.
Has Belaram got any connection to Scotland? Like the word wee.
Maybe
for
so,
small.
right? With the wee, wee bit. Yeah. Atil said, the presentation's amazing. Except for the sound, I guess. Jason, I can appreciate this more because I was young when we signed Q7. Carlito, thank goodness for that cutting-edge lighting system, eh? I already read that one. And so that was it for during the live feed. Then Grey Wolf has asked, did Ole say anything about this signing?
No, I don't think so. Maybe in the post match, I didn't actually watch. I straight we had to start with our broadcast pretty much after the friendly, so I didn't watch the post match pressers. Unfortunately, I don't know if anyone. Any of you guys caught that, and I think even like the Haber-Kartalers of the world and stuff like that, I think even they didn't seem to do much in terms of covering quotes, because obviously people we were all kind of preoccupied with something
moving on.
Something slightly bigger than that, right? Let's have a look here. This one from the official club account.
Jason says, love the lighting. Grey Wolf, this definitely relieves the pressure on Adala for a bit. Sort of, but he's got work to do.
Oh, very loud.
Carlito, reportedly 25k fans in the stadium. Crazy.
That seems
Mujahid.
That seems low. I think it was probably more like 30 or something. I mean, obviously they had one
You
section.
need to remember the part behind the stage was closed off.
They had one section closed off, but I still think it's probably like 30,000 or something there.
Mujahid Shaheen telling Kartal to smile more. Grey Wolf, I think Kerem extended his contract. Aktürkoğlu,
Why would you have to
uh,
extend this contract? He just signed 6 months ago. Seems.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 months? No, a year ago. Sorry, it's a year ago. Yeah. I mean, roughly, right? Like 11 months or whatever.
Yeah. Shouldn't need to extend it either way, you'd think. Dang it. That just, whatever just happened moves me down. Recep Azsuler again says, Yuvana hoş geldin Orkun Kökçü. Yeah. Welcome, sir.
Except
Zozoe, Bobo with a black and white heart. Zozoe says, I have doubts about coach. Carlito asked him why. He says, I'm not sure the game mindset will match with what the fans want to see on the pitch.
okay.
Anyone want to comment on that?
We've not had a squad that's built to play the type of football the fans want to see. So now we're making transfers that can allow us to play in that way. And maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not particularly known for being a coach that has a lot of, whose teams have a lot of possession, but that's why Ellen Moe's there. Ellen Moe coached a Moldy side that was brilliant at doing that. So, and I think especially in the big games like Man U, I feel like they spent a lot of money since Sir Alex retired, but I felt like that money's kind of been wasted. I don't think the actual quality's been there. So I think in these big games, Ollie had to kind of play transition football all the time because he couldn't match the bigger teams in terms of talent. I felt, I don't know what you guys think about that. So I think that's kind of why he's seen as a transition coach because of that. And also, but with Ellen Moe by his side, who had a Moldy team that played some great possession football, I think it should be just fine now that we're getting some players in that are more suitable to that. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Obviously, if we go deep in the season, we're still not seeing the type of football we see. I still think Ollie, we need to give him the full season regardless because we need to repair our image and our reputation.
Yeah.
Just now we're seen as a team that like just goes through coaches like people go through their underwear. You know what I mean? And you can't attract serious good coaches after a certain point if you keep doing that. Look, Ollie's a serious good coach, but let's be honest, he was the only serious good coach that was interested in taking this job in January. Even our supposed legend Sergej Yalcin wouldn't touch it with a 6-foot pole. So we need to stop just going through coaches. We need to see some consistency. And I'm hoping we're going to be just fine. Like, I'm not saying we're going to win the league. My brother said quite recently that he's not going to talk about winning the league until November. I think I'm going to do the same because last year we got all excited there because of how well we started despite the deficiencies in the squad. So I think now we need to get past November first, and then if we're still looking like it's potentially we could win a title in November, then I can talk about that. But I think we're going to have a decent season if we keep. Obviously, it's important we don't slow down. We need to keep up the pace in terms of the transfers. Yeah. But going off what if you remember, guys, last year after signing Paulista, Rafa, and Mobley, Hussein Ujel says, "Look, we're going to pause and we're going to send players away, and we're waiting forever and ever for that happening." And we lost the momentum in the transfer window, but there's been no statements like that from this current board. If anything. The second president, I think is it Hakan Daltaban is his name, I think it is. He said, "Oh, wait till you see who's next." So this board's shown no signs of slowing down in this recruitment. So if we keep going on this light where we're signing the right profiles, I'm not going to say there's no reason why we're not going to win the league. I'm not saying that. We'll wait till November till we can get past that cursed month until November. Where we've thrown in until the last 4 years. If we get past then we'll talk about it, but I think there's no reason why we can't have at least a competitive season.
Exactly, yeah.
Put simply, I think you can just say that stability is also a trait that you need to cultivate. And, obviously that doesn't mean you have to keep bad players around for the sake of stability, but now that you have a certain level of talent, you have a core of guys who are a certain age where they're probably going to kind of see out the majority or much of the rest of their career with us. You have some other guys who have resale value that you might be selling, but not anytime soon, you'd hope. I think it's a time like we have to consider stability, right? We have to genuinely make an effort to do the best we can in that regard. To be bringing in players who are good enough to keep around for a few years, you hope. But I think that also comes with the manager. Players get used to him, the way he wants them to play. You got to let these new guys come in and adapt to the system. So we shouldn't be in any sort of rush.
Yeah. Plus, you can't really judge Ole on the past 6 months either, because you need to keep in mind the material he had at his disposal. And I mean, even in these friendlies, like both friendlies have kind of been a tale of two halves, really, where we see. I would say the first friendly was actually good in both halves, but especially today, you could really tell like the difference between the first and the second half, and that's just plain down to quality on the pitch. And I think if you saw the first half and how direct and how attacking we were playing, and in the first game, again, only a second division team in Austria, but the first half was really direct and attacking football. Second half was direct attacking football. I don't think we should say and classify Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a counter-attacking transition coach. Yes, that's the football he played at Manchester United, but that's because that was the football he felt he had to play with the material at his disposal there. Manchester United are a team or a club who have a really big name, and from that reputation you expect them to play a certain way, but the reality in the last decade plus of Manchester United is that they're at best a team that's competing for Europe, and I think that what Ole did at United is quite impressive, really, if you think about it. If you see United before Ole and you see United after Ole, Ole is the one who got them to second place. Ole is the one who got them to a European final. And now see where they are now. They just barely avoided relegation this past season and stuff like that. So it's, I don't think you really can judge Ole on that. And if you go back to my interview with Emil Sande from a few months ago, Ole at Molde played direct attacking football and possession-based and dominant football, and it's the same brand of football Erling Moe played with Molde. So I do think that given the right tools, I think Ole can play a very different brand of football. I don't think we should be penalizing a coach because he's tactically flexible and able to adjust to his players. If anything, I think we should see that as a positive. Yeah. Right?
Too many coaches are too rigid these days, man. It's one way, and if if they don't have the tools to execute that plan, they're fucked, man.
Yeah, look at Ruben Amorim. Look at Amorim at Manchester United. He can't adjust to his players, and look what's happening there. By the way, let's have a look at this little tweet here from Yalcin Ayhan, who, of course, played for our academy. I think he's working for the Beşiktaş Digital platform at the moment. And he says that alongside Beşiktaş's need for a wing, one of their greatest needs is a center-back transfer, especially when the team goes on the attack and fails to convert, or I guess that means when we fail to score. That we're vulnerable to counterattacks, and we need a specific center-back profile who can neutralize the opposition's transitional attacks with athleticism, could elevate the current game's efficiency by 2 or even 3 levels. And I think what he's talking about, this is absolutely must not be overlooked. I think the profile here is kind of talking about is like Davinson Sanchez, or what was that guy called that used to play for Galatasaray? The guy that went to Sevilla. What was his name again? The Brazilian. Marcao. So like that type of profile, a center defender that's fast, that's able to bring back somebody who's potentially broken through. Stuff like that. I think Davinson Sanchez is probably the perfect example of that. But do you guys agree with that that's something that we need? Gabriel Paulista, of course, we saw today again, has some really good qualities on the ball, but he's old, he's slow. He compensates that with his positional awareness and his anticipation, but he isn't always in the right position.
I agree with Yalcin, definitely. I think, see, especially if we're going to be pushing, ideally we want our line to be further up compared to what we saw for the most part last year. The start of the season we did play with a high line, but ideally if we really want to drown our opponents, we want a high line, and I think to achieve a high line. It'd be better if we had a younger, more athletic, faster centre back.
Yeah. What do you think, Sinan? Do you agree with that as well?
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's like if you get there, if you have enough of the window to operate in. Whoa, there's a fucking moth. You've taken care of the things you need more. Because I would say it's not a priority over a winger or a six.
I think that could be the difference between us competing this season and us potentially winning the league next season if we could get that profile of a defender. But I agree with you that it's maybe not. It's not a huge priority right now. It would definitely bolster our chances, and it would. It's definitely something we need. But I think right now, obviously, we have a much bigger need for a winger. I think we have a much bigger. Well, I mean, we have a much bigger need for a six. But then, if you see Demirege today, I would also be interested in seeing how Demirege performs now as a six, because
I'd like to see him. See if we play against Shakhtar with Demirege in the six. I wouldn't be disappointed. I think it's going to be a good test to see if someone can bank on for the future.
But
I mean, look, I think if you can bring in someone who can help you more defensively, I think you kind of have to. That's my thing with Demirege is I think he's really ideally more of an 8, and he'd be a backup for Orkun rather than, especially where we are now with some of the other problems we have with the squad. I'd like to see a 6 who's more reliable defensively than Demirege. He's still not really very stout, when it comes to sort of cutting out counters and stuff of that nature. I don't really see him.
He's
getting that job.
He's not the hard man.
It's going to be a risk if you go into the season banking on Demirege. I think it's a big risk, but I don't think that's what they're going to do. I'm certain they're going to sign a number 6. I think we might see.
You just mean against Shakhtar? Okay, yeah. That's.
You'd imagine against Shakhtar he is going to be the starting 6, though.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think so, but. If we go into the season in general just banking on him, I think that is a risk.
Because, I mean, if you look at it, we're the 13th today, and we only have 5 more days left to register our UEFA list for that those first qualifiers. So we have to sign a 6 in the next 5 days, essentially. And then on top of that, I don't think Ole will immediately drop that person in with 6-7 days under his belt in training. I can't see that happen. I think Ole will play it a little bit more careful. And I said this in the previous episode. I think obviously Shakhtar is going to be a great test for us, and I think in an ideal world you knock them out and you go through. But I also don't think it would be the end of the world if we don't manage to knock them out, because I do think that with the squad we are putting together right now, by the time the league stages come around, I think we have a great chance in going far in a competition as the Conference League. I mean, granted, we could go far in the Europa League too. Look how close we were this past season from qualifying with a.
I was going to say that.
With a really poor side. If you think about it, with a really poor squad, so we could go far in the Europa League too. But in the Conference League, I actually genuinely think you have.
You think we could maybe win it?
Have a chance, right? Like Olympiacos won it 2 seasons ago. There isn't a Chelsea or a Tottenham or a Manchester United or anything like that in it this season. Nottingham Forest, Fiorentina. I think those are 2 of the biggest clubs in it this season. Like, there's a realistic chance there if Beşiktaş are good, which is of course a big if. We have to wait and see. But a good, stable Beşiktaş that are good have a chance at winning the Conference League, I think. So I wouldn't even be that disappointed if we don't make it to the league stages of the Europa League. And for me, I think the biggest test this season is going to be we have to make it to league stages. Let's be clear there. Whether it's Europa League or the Conference League, but we have to make it to league stages. But I think the biggest test this season obviously is going to be whether or not we're going to be competitive with those other 2 teams, Fenerbahçe and Galatasaray, and then having a good season in Europe. I think our mission this season is stay in the title race until March, April, ideally. If we can achieve that, regardless of where you finish, if you finish in second, third, or first, obviously we all want to be champions, but I don't really think it matters. I think if you finish top 3 and you battle for the league title until the final weeks, that's mission accomplished. And if you also go far in Europe, get out of the league stages and perhaps go to the quarterfinals or something like that, that is also mission accomplished. I think you have a great season if you do those two things.
Yeah, sounds fair. All right, moving on. So, Ole was criticized, and of course Nasser shows up immediately. It's like rubbing on the genie's lamp. I goes, hello. Jason, even second division clubs in England can pay $2.5 million. Nasser, what a reveal. No doubt Orkun will give his all for the badge. The first team is shaping up really well. You can already see the quality coming together. But yeah, there's still quite a clear gap between the A team and the B team. Nasser, rewind and go back. Yeah, we talked about how we still have, ideally, we're in a position now where we can knock off the big need on the A team and maybe even have time to start working on the squad depth a little bit. But yeah, we talked about that already. Check it out. Sarper, I don't like the guy, but Kerem makes sense. Jason says budget friendly. I'm not sure about that. Jason says
who's budget friendly?
I think he must mean Kerem Aktürkoğlu.
Definitely not.
But then he says,
not.
I'll totally
I
get
think
Sancho
I think
on
what
the
it
back
was is,
of my
see, I was
shirt.
trying to, like the phrase for describing like a player that's not going to be as hard, like put as big a dent in the books. I was looking for a phrase there. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
I think he just like wrote budget friendly as a response to that because I kind of started a wee bit there, like trying to think of the best phrase to use.
And then he said, I'll totally get Sancho on the backs of my shirt if he comes, at least after Orkun.
Who said that?
Okay, we got a Sancho fan, Jason.
Oh, what? Really? I thought Jason was the one who was against it the most. I thought he was calling him like toxic and stuff.
I think he's got that about Rashford. Nasser says, I've got a feeling Rashford might end up at Barca on loan and Sancho will probably head to say, he's not willing to take a pay cut.
Juventus are really keen on him supposedly, but...
That's what I've heard. Sarper, I've seen news about Marlon. Oh, wait, we talked about Marlon. And then Carlito said Marlon would be nice. Belaram said I would... Oh, yeah, we talked about David Tashvili, etc., etc., etc. Carlito, I would love to hear Ole's thoughts on Orkun. I'm sure we will soon, now that it's official. And yes, and Jason said Rashford would be a bad transfer. Nasser, Marlon hasn't really struggled with injuries. He only missed a game or two last season. He's mostly been used as an impact sub at Villa rather than a regular starter.
I thought he tore his ACL a couple of years ago, didn't he? Let me have a look. Pretty sure he...
Belaram said, Hayvan Gibi Uslu. We got another subscriber, Anar Ahlaverdiev. Maybe like Turkmeni or something. That's an interesting name. Sarper just became a sponsor. Look at you, and Sarper. Jason says,
I want to ask a question. Is Sarper the Sarper from 90 Day Fiancé? Have any of you guys seen that yet?
No, I have not seen that. Let's see.
No, Google it. It's the most stereotypical Turkish guy you can think of. Like most stereotypical kind of fuckboy Turkish guy you can think of, man. He's hilarious.
Oh, I don't think Marlon.
I think Sarper might have joined.
Yeah, he joined.
I think Sarper joined our group chat recently.
He did.
I know it's not that guy, but still, if anyone that hasn't, man, and wants to laugh, Google Sarper 90 Day Fiancé. The guy's hilarious, man. Just the most stereotypical kind of Turkish fuckboy you can think of, man. And it's this guy's hilarious, man.
Turkish fuckboy, eh?
Yeah, if you're interested in the genre.
Yeah.
No, he's just a funny guy, man. He's doing comedy and stuff like that as well.
Oh shit, did I lose us? Oh no, okay. Rashford mainly because of his wages and performances. Jason. Grey Wolf, we the fans have suffered far too long. Sarper, yes, exactly. It's a childhood dream. He's good player, but if he was a little better, we couldn't transfer him. It works perfect. That transfer is made of what dreams are made
Orkun.
of. I think you're talking about Orkun.
Nah, come on, man. I think that's selling him short on his ability. I think if you look at the two seasons he's had at Benfica, first season 7 goals, 10 assists, second season 12 goals, 10 assists as a midfielder, as a central midfielder. That's I mean, that's essentially he plays the Ozan role. Did Ozan ever have double-digit seasons, like double digits?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so either. And that's it.
And Orkun has for sure.
I mean, Orkun has, yeah. 12 goals, 10 assists this past season for Benfica.
In a row. I think he's had a couple in a row.
No, he had 7 goals, 10 assists the season before that for Benfica, and then the season before that when he won the league with Feyenoord, he had 12 goals, 4 assists. So I think it's a
okay. I meant he had double digits season, at least in one category in a row.
Olsen's best season, he had 10 goals and 8 assists. That was the 15-16 season, but it was 9 goals and 7 assists in the league.
Yeah.
So he done the majority of that in the league, but no, he never had that double season.
Mm-hmm. And Orkun has.
Yeah.
I mean the fact
double,
well.
yeah, the double.
Yeah. And the fact that a club like Inter Milan, who just played the Champions League final, were looking at Orkun to replace Hakan Çalhanoğlu, and the fact that Liverpool were looking at him, the fact that Tottenham were looking at him, the fact that Newcastle United wanted him. I mean, I think that says enough. Like Orkun really is like. I think
Harper's doubling down. He said, "Yep, he is really good, but if he was a little better, we couldn't transfer him." No, Sarper, I think you're wrong. I think, dude, we have no business being able to transfer him.
I mean, if you
see if you said, see if I was to say to you guys 2 weeks ago, not even last week.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to say to you guys last week, will Beşiktaş be able to pay 25 million euros for a player this summer? You'd say, no, you're fucking crazy, Kartal, if I was to say
we
that.
We said Sercan Dikme is fucking crazy. He said it. He said Beşiktaş could pay 25 to 30 million for a player from the right age and all that kind of stuff. And we all said he's fucking crazy. Pardon my French, right? So, I mean, I would have told you the same thing. It's just, it's insane.
Yeah. See, to what Office is saying, Office already, he's saying that he loves counter-attack football, fast counter-attack football. The problem with that, Office, is in the Turkish league where you have the ball like 55 to 60% of the ball in the vast majority of the games. You can't play that way. Yes, you can play that way in the big games, and it's brilliant, like the Bilbao game. And I wouldn't call it counter-attack. I think transition's a bit different. It's not so much counter-attack. To me, counter-attack to me is more like when you're sitting back with 10 men and just like using fast players to hit on the break and stuff like that. But as I said, you can't use that tactic in the Turkish league in every game because they don't let you. They make you take the ball.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, obviously, that doesn't mean you can't still counter because you're still gonna have transitional moments in matches like that. So, being good at countering as a team is essential, even if you're not a counter-attacking team, right? Like, I mean, look at, obviously, Real Madrid was kind of a counter-attacking team, but like transitioning effectively is very important in modern football, of course, regardless. By the way, guys, if you're watching live right now, please don't forget that like button. If you're watching on delay, also hit that like button and the notification bell, the subscribe button, and leave a comment, all that kind of stuff. Please don't forget to do that.
Continuing with the group chat, Belaram said, now that we've signed Orkun, we're one person short in the stands. That's funny. Murat Sehan, I suggest that Necip won't play. I'm sorry, I'm correcting here. He thinks that Necip won't play most of the games, so he's not suitable to give him first captaincy.
Agree.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to find a lot of pushback from us. I mean, maybe Kartal.
Man, I don't even think he belongs on the team, man. Like
I was going to recollect that you just said that.
It's a pure emotional thing that he got a contract extension. I don't think Beşiktaş are in a place where they should be wasting money like that. Like, even if it's only a little bit, why are we wasting that money? We can't afford to do that. I think it's dumb. I don't think Necip should be playing for Beşiktaş anymore. I'm sorry. I know everyone loves him and
put him on the coaching staff. Staff, right? We need a Turkish coach, isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
Maybe we need someone a little more qualified. Yeah. Maybe he could be on the youth team for starting. Anyway,
guy's coming off an ACL injury and all that, so maybe we need to give him a couple of months. But like, he's 35? He's 35 years old or something, or 34. Like, realistically, like by the time he's
Boy.
back at an appropriate level, he's like 36 years old. You know, look how long Tayyip Talha has taken to recover from his injury. Obviously, ACL injuries and recoveries is different for everyone, but
Where were we? Nasser, of course, needed to have the rebuttal. I think you'll actually appreciate this, Kartal. So Nasser said, people say Ole doesn't like possession, but that's a bit of a myth. United under him averaged 50% or more most games. He just preferred vertical transition-based play over slow build-up, which, by the way, we've noticed in this preseason, I think. Ole actually tried going more possession-based in his third season, but the squad didn't really have the structure or players to pull it off properly, especially in midfield. The intent was there, but it just didn't click without the right profiles. Sarper says he's talking about Marcelo. I don't know what context that was in. Belaram said we need someone like Zago or Ronaldo. Murat Seyhan, Demir would shine as a 6 in a 4-3-3. Yeah, I mean, that would open up some options, but clearly with the two fullbacks we have being more offensive-minded, you're probably not going to see that.
Yeah.
Belaram said Kerem involved in 3 major fights, and Galatasaray, we should ignore him. Sarper, yes, he's really good, but if he was a little better, we couldn't train. Oh, we already did that. Ofus Aure, good to see you back, Ofus. I actually love fast counter-attacking football. Not sure why people don't like it. I hope Ole perfects his style of football. The match versus Athletic was awesome. And where I think to Kartal's point, where we can play a more counter-attacking style, that like in Europe, sure, but then as Kartal was suggesting, it's a little bit harder to sort of rely on being able to play that way in the Super League, where the quality of your opposition is decreased and they kind of play to sit back and let you hang out with the ball. So,
yeah,
it's important to be able to play that way, and so in that sense, I think we all agree.
Yeah. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer,
and that's a good thing about Ole, that he has that versatility.
Yeah, and a team, a Solskjaer team is always going to be able to have that in its repertoire, I think. But that match, I wouldn't say we played like Catenaccio or anything, but like Athletic is a great example. It was a game where we did counter really, really well, or at least we did hit them on the break really, really well. But to Kartal's point, like 90% of the opponents in the Super League are not gonna give us that type of a scenario, because they're not gonna, like, they themselves are gonna be looking to hit us on the counter, and that's usually, especially in the home games, the only way they're gonna come out of their own half is on a counter. So then you almost need to hit them on a counter on their own counter, right? Like recover and hit them on the counter. But usually they don't overcommit to these counters. Like, they don't have like 7-8 people dashing forward like crazy or anything like that. So in the Turkish league, it's really important that you're able to unlock stubborn defenses. And I think having somebody like Orkun in the team now, and hopefully a good left winger in the coming days or in the coming week or whatever, can help us to much easier be able to unlock those tight-knit defenses. And of course, having somebody like Tammy Abraham is also going to help a lot in that regard, I think.
Comments are flying in still. Where were we? Star pair, all I say most of the parallel universes, he is not in Beşiktaş. There we agree. Murder Mert! Yo! As I said in the group chat, we need to continue the continental Beşiktaş concept. Next episode with Orkun.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you guys talking about? The continental
the Continental Hotel, how they presented Tammy in the Continental Hotel with Numa.
I see. Keep the narrative. I see. Right.
And I think
get the limo out.
Yeah, and I think Mert suggested that we should have someone like Sergen involved this time, I think that would be perfect, especially given the fact that Orkun's going to be wearing that number 10 jersey. So in an ideal world, you'd have Sergen and you'd have Mehmet Özilek in that video, in my opinion.
Yep. Murat, if you want me to use the right words, spell them correctly. Jason, heresy by you 3 to disrespect the king. I think we're talking about Necip, I would imagine. Sarper, After Liverpool got Arne Slot, I was sure Orkun was going there. Yeah, for sure. Sunshine Man. Oh, I guess they're having a little chat in the group chat. Hey guys.
Yeah,
Get your own room.
I told them to move.
Get your own room.
I told them to move it here. You know, they're chatting away in the group chat. I'm like, guys, come have that conversation in the live chat. This might have some interest.
Oh, are these guys in the group chat?
Yeah, it's Sunshine Man is Mary Abi.
Oh, that's Mary. I see. Sunshine Man. But who's Belleram?
I'm not sure.
Belleram's, I don't know their name, but they're based in Turkey, but they grew up in Hackney, in London.
Oh, join the group chat, Belleram. You guys can do your little private chat in the side.
Yeah, scan the WhatsApp code.
And talk Beşiktaş over here.
QR codes.
Okay, anyway. Where were we? Ofus, again. Maybe I'm old school. Oops. Finnish kebab. Finnish kebab. Not Swedish. I'm watching this in Alanya and in a crowded bar. Oh, watching us.
Tell them all to come.
Well, enjoy the bar.
Tell them all
enjoy the bar.
to come to the Beşiktaş Black Eagles podcast, man. Tell them all to subscribe. We might hit 1,000 then, live on air.
Maybe I'm old school. So this is Ofus Auri. Maybe I'm old school. I wish a manager could be inspired by the old Brazilian teams. They slowed down the game and all of a sudden had an extreme change of tempo.
Yeah, but I don't think that's possible anymore, man. With the tempo that in modern football being as high as it is already. I mean, of course you can slow the pace of a game down, but I think in modern football the way to slow down games is more with anti-football, right? I don't know. I'm not that old, so I didn't really watch those teams from the 70s and stuff. I assume that's what you were alluding to.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Zico and what is it?
Right.
And
Socrates.
Socrates. Yeah. By the way, guys, if you're just tuning in, please hit the like button.
Sleepy Gilwraith. I guess that's the chat on the side there. Okay. Sunshine Man said, I missed that great Scottish accent. You gotta talk a lot more, bro.
Thank you, yeah. I appreciate that.
Sleepy Gilwraith. Okay.
So that's
maybe this has already been raised. Yeah, that's
Sleepy
his son.
Gilwraith is Mary's son.
Oh,
yeah. Who's
cool.
also Sal? Who's Sal in the chat?
No. That's not Sal. Sal is
not Sal. What a P? It's just P. I think he's P.
I'm not gonna say his name because maybe he doesn't want it revealed, but it is P. Yeah, it is a P.
Just P. Yeah. Mr. P. So Sleepy Gilwraith says maybe this has already been raised. Will having OK10 Orkun, I see, with Beşiktaş be the fire and help to push Semi to his potential where us Beşiktaş fans want or expect him?
Oh.
I mean, my only contention with that is that it feels like he might already be on his way out. There's a lot of talk of him being loaned to Utrecht. Aston Villa, there's some English sides potentially looking to buy him. He was not included in the, not even just like he wasn't put out there. He wasn't even on the bench today in the friendly, so that could be a sign.
Could indicate something, yeah. I mean, Utrecht supposedly were lining up an improved offer, but I have to say, I think it's irrelevant if they improve their offer because their offer in the first place was really, really bad. Like, just the way it was structured is terrible for us because their offer was to loan him with an option to buy for 10 million. I think if they were to say, okay, here's 10 million, we'll buy him from you now, that's something you could consider, even though I think 10 is too low, but that is at least something you could consider. But an offer of just a loan with option to buy for 10 is terrible business for Beşiktaş. And it doesn't matter if it's option to buy for 10 or if it's option to buy for 12, even option to buy for 15, I think is pretty shit because if they decide to trigger that is because he had a fantastic season. If they don't trigger it, then you don't get anything. So it's lose-lose in my opinion. Because if he has a fantastic season in the Eredivisie and it's worth for a team like Utrecht to pay 10 million for him, or 12 million, or 13, or 14, or 15, doesn't matter. A team like Utrecht who has never spent that type of money in their history, if they decide to spend that means he had a monster season. And that also in turn means you could probably sell him for 20-25. So then you're losing money by selling him for whatever pre-agreed number there. The only way that would not be a lose-lose situation is if he had like a good season but not an amazing season, and somehow they would still trigger the option, but they never would, because that's not Utrecht don't have those finances. So I think any deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like a Rio Ave with Demirege scenario, right? Where it's like, I hope they don't trigger it, because like we could probably make a lot more if we can get him back.
Exactly, Sinan. That's a nail right on the head. I think the only way a loan deal with an option to buy makes sense if the option to buy is either really, really high, like 20-25 million, like with Talisca, or you have to not have an option, or you have to have money up front. But just an option with like this, that just doesn't work for Beşiktash. Doesn't make any sense. I think that would be boneheaded on our part.
Yeah. Agreed. Continuing. Nasser, I don't know if this was discussed earlier, but how do you see Orkun being used? I mean, I think he's going to be our 8. I would imagine our starting 8.
Yeah. So we'll be playing a double pivot if we stick with the 4-2-3-1. He'll be the one that moves forward and creates the play.
Yeah, and we'll see if we get a 6 or if we try the double 8, which there's been some talk of. Or, I mean, my guess is we're going to bring in a 6 to sort of complement him and allow him to have more freedom going forward.
Don't you guys think now that this means we almost have to sell Gedson, because like he doesn't really fit?
I do.
Fit anymore, unless you're gonna play him as the 6, but that doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, or if you decided you wanted to move Rafa to the wing, but that's definitely not happening.
That could happen as well. You could move Rafa out to the left or to the right, and then you can bring Kenny to the bench, and then have Gedson as like a number 10, or you put Orkun as the 10 and Gedson as the 8. That could also.
Well, and almost play like a 4-3-3 style.
Just play with a 4-3-3 with Demirege or whoever you're signing at the 6 or the 6, and then Orkun and Gedson together. But I think that would actually be a good balanced midfield.
The problem though is that our fullbacks are not as defensive minded as you'd want in a.
If you were to get like a Joseph style 6, let's say, for example, like.
Sure. Remember
when we won the title, Joseph always went in between.
Sure, and then you're talking about shifting lines. Yeah, that would be awesome.
But I don't think you particularly need any different profile of a fullback than you do for a 4-2-3-1 as you do for a 4-3-3, because essentially it's the same lineup. Really, defensively, it's the same. It's mainly just different in terms of do you have 2 wingers that are essentially just 2 out-and-out attackers or not? Now with, like, for example, Rashica, he's more a midfielder than he's an actual winger, I think. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that has too much to do with it. I mean, ideally with these profiles of fullbacks we play 3 at the back, I think. But that's not going to happen, I don't think. Because, the transfer policy we're doing right now, the fact that we're looking for a winger, the fact that we're looking for a 6... Well, the 6 doesn't really change much, but the winger does, in my opinion, because I think the most logical lineup with 3 at the back right now with the current squad is 3-5-2, with Rafa as the second striker. We're looking for a winger, so that's not going to happen. Because then essentially your wing backs become your wingers in that system.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then a 3-4-3 is also a possibility, but I mean, that could work, but I don't think that's going to be the case, because then you're putting Kyle Walker-Peters and Jurasek on midfield, and then it's just Orkun and a 6 potentially. So again, it doesn't make much sense, I think. I think we're going to keep playing what we're playing at the moment.
Yeah, and probably just bring in a new 6 to do the job. Where were we? Beleram. We should let Semi go, by the way.
Yeah.
Which
but
we might need to.
But it has to be for the right conditions. Like, you can't just let him go for the sake of letting him go, right? It needs to be right for us. And just like I think how the conditions for Orkun had to be right for us. Like, and I think for 25 million to be paid over 5 years, or really over 4 years if you think about it, with 1 year delay, like that is, I think, a good deal. But I think you need to be as prudent with the deals outgoing. I think you can't just say, oh, you know what, we really want to get rid of Al Musrati, let's sell him for 3 million. No, that doesn't make much sense. And the same thing for Semi. Yeah, you wanna get him out the door probably ideally, because I think for him it would probably be better. But you have to have a good deal on the table for that. If you get 10 million, that's kind of right? And if it's an option to buy for 10, that's definitely shit.
Yeah. Sunshine Man said they said he was not there due to some minor pain. Talking with Semi. And to be fair, like that's probably what they would say if they were covering for him.
Yeah.
Either way. But which is to say, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily true or that that's really why he wasn't playing. But, you know, and again, maybe if he has minor pains or whatever, but he's your player and you want to develop him, you're like, yeah, play through it, sucker. But since you know you're trying to get rid of him, it's like, yeah, let's be cautious. Sunshine Man says the great TV show defining Semi is Arrested Development. I wonder if you have Semi. Is he Tobias Funke, or is he more of a Job? Is he a Job?
Yeah. By the way, guys,
it's an illusion.
By the way, guys, just a shout out. There's this. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's this new thing called Top Fans. There's a leaderboard. So just a little shout out.
I've noticed.
Yeah, just a little shout out to our top 3 in the leaderboard right now. Sarper number 1, Belaram number 2, and Yasin on number 3. So keep it up, guys.
Oh, he lost it.
Yeah, keep it up. Well,
Yasin was number 1
actually,
for the majority of the show.
They are co-number 1 because they're all 3 of them are on 150 experience or something. So I think it just has to do with the amounts of times they join live streams and comment and stuff like that. I think it has.
It's been changing actually throughout the episodes. So
yeah, so
I guess it's still the numbers are fresh.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like unique to one stream or if it's like unique to like multiple streams. Because it could be if it's like throughout. I think it could be something really cool to maybe at the end of the season maybe do some giveaway or something. But if it's like episode per episode, then it's kind of difficult.
But then
we have to go.
You don't want them spamming the comments.
No.
Like, haha.
Yeah.
Haha.
Yeah.
Haha. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Oh, but I wrote like 7 messages. So yeah, we'll figure something out. We'll be more artful with how we give it out. But, where were we? Ofus, I think we did that. Do you think? Oh yeah, no. Ofus Aure. Do you think it's enough time to gel the team? Oh, do you think the team has enough time to gel for the Europa League match, or do you think it's a risk?
That's a risk, I think. I think
that will end up in the Conference League. I arrived late. You may have discussed this already. We sort of discussed this.
It's going to be very hard, man. Look, Shakhtar Donetsk are no slouches. They're a very hard team. They're a very established European team.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, if there wasn't a war going on in Ukraine just now, they would probably spank us. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, this is true.
Because of their current situation, we have a chance, I think. But let's be hopeful. But there's still a fair chance.
I think the scenario you need to hope for is that because of the first game is at home, is that we just we have like an Athletic Club evening and we just blow them out and we beat them 4-1 or something. I think that's something you kind of have to hope for. Because
or like Lugano game 2 against Lugano.
Because I think what Ofos is saying is very correct. Like it's almost impossible with the new key players that we're bringing in that short amount of time. It's gonna take a couple of months for them to build up some proper chemistry, you would imagine. Like it's gonna be tough, right? Like you almost have to have like a crazy night where everything just goes right, like against Athletic Club, and then I think we have a great chance if we can win that first leg and do so by a couple of goals difference. But if we struggle in that first game, then it's gonna be tough. But again, I said this before, I wouldn't be opposed to us ending up in the Conference League, because I do think once the ball starts rolling and once we do start building chemistry over the coming weeks and months, I think we have a great chance in the competition as a Conference League to go really, really far with this squad. But of course, everything has to work out and everything, all the puzzle pieces need to line up and all that kind of stuff, or fall into place. Sorry.
And then so Sleepy Gilraith, if Semi is an Eagle in 2025-26, do we think that Orkun will help him regain his footing? I don't know. You want to answer that, Kaan?
I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about
I mean, I suppose he's like a terrible trainer, right? Like he doesn't train well, which that's not gonna.
Yeah,
If anything, he might piss off Orkun, hopefully.
I mean, that's what you hope for, right? Because I've talked about this in the past. Like, our Abi figures in the dressing room were guys like Salio are kind of known for not being the hardest workers in training themselves. And then you have like someone like Necip, who is a hard worker, but with all due respect for Necip, like, I kind of feel like if he is the example of that one player that always worked his socks off but isn't really that talented.
Or was it? Probably shouldn't have been.
And like I think what you want is for guys like Rafa. But Rafa is also not like the heaviest trainer, but that's fine. He doesn't need to. He's good enough. But like you want guys like Orkun, I think, to stand up, to take the younger players under their wings. Orkun is young, but he's old enough to be able to say and to be an Abi figure to a guy like Simi and to a guy like Mustafa and even Demirege and stuff like that. I mean, he's old enough for that. He's also experienced enough. He's achieved enough in his career. I think he's a fellow Turkish international, so he could have a positive effect on him. But honestly, with the season just behind us that we've seen from Simi, I think there's an issue there. Simi needs to start working his ass off, and we're not seeing that from him. Simi has all the talent in the world, but he can't just rest on his laurels. He needs to work hard every day in training and in every single game when he comes on. He needs to work his ass off. And I don't mean tackle aggressively and get yellow carded every single time. That's not working your ass off. He needs to press. He needs to make run after run after run. Tammy Abraham said something very interesting in his interview earlier in BN Sports. I think he said if you make 100 runs and you don't get the ball 99 times, maybe the 100th time you get the ball,
Hassan
you can
Akin
score a
subscribed
goal.
to the channel.
That's the mentality a striker needs to have, and that's something I'm lacking from Simi. New subscriber, by the way.
We have a new subscriber. Hassan Akin. I fully agree.
Yeah.
I hope that he puts a fire under a bunch of these guys. I think it might be time to hope. I think Semi might be almost bad. Like he's too settled as part of that locker room. Maybe he needs a change of scenery.
Or maybe exactly. Maybe Semi maybe it isn't. Well, maybe he isn't lazy. It's something else. He has some mental issues or something. I don't know what it is, but like maybe a year away could do him lots of good. And again, I am all for him going to Utrecht, but I don't want them to have a ridiculously low buyout option. I'm 100% okay with him going to Utrecht without a buyout option. No problem, absolutely no problem.
Same.
But and I'm also 100% okay with him going out on loan. And ideally, Mustafa Erhan also goes out on loan because I don't want either of them being the second striker this coming season. Because again, in these friendlies, Mustafa, you can see there's something there, but like he's not good enough yet, man. I'm sorry. Like against Bodrum, that was probably his best game for us, and that was okay, but still not. It's not what you expect from a striker, And he
not at all.
And he has these really he has some good moves from time to time and good runs and all that kind of stuff, but then he has like an elephant touch and. He still needs work. He's an unpolished diamond in the rough right now, and he needs polishing, and he doesn't need to get that at Beşiktaş right now. He needs to get that at like a Rio Ave, like Demirege, Demirege went there, did great, came back, and is a better player for it. I think Mustafa Erhan Hekimoğlu has to do the same thing. Semi needs to do the same thing. Elan Ricardo has to do the same thing. And there's, by the way, Rio Ave are rumored to be one of the teams interested in loaning him. And again, I think, with the positive experience they've had with Demirege now, I think is a great opportunity for us to build a relationship with a team like Rio Ave and maybe make this an annual thing that we send them one or two players like that. Why not send Mustafa Erhan to Rio Ave? Maybe even Semi.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I agree.
Nasser says in the first preseason game, Ole did play Gedson in the 10. I think he did today also, actually. So
he was playing very advanced. He was playing very advanced. Yeah.
I mean, he was in the central position today. So I mean, I don't know if it's like a 10 right? I mean, he was in that more advanced midfield role, but I think that's not quite what he played.
He was going out wide a lot again and joining the attack on the wing, and
he was pretty good today, actually. Sunshine Man says, I think President Adalis is seeing Gedson and Semi as some reliable revenue. Yeah, hopefully.
I think so too.
Hopefully.
Murder Merit asks, is KWP coming tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's coming tomorrow, is what they're saying.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Nasser, it feels like Ole really rates Gedson, and to be fair, Gedson looks settled and happy at Beşiktaş.
Yeah, no, of course. I think we
would be a bit sad to see him go.
The thing is, man,
that's true.
We're going to play 4-2-3-1 and he needs to go, man, with Rafa at the 10.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, I think with Orkun now, there's no logical place for him in the lineup, and Gedson is our most valuable player other than Orkun. So
Exactly, and I think he's his ceiling as well in terms of value. I think.
Yeah. I mean, how old is Gedson? 26 or is he?
He's 26 years old.
Yeah.
So now he's at a point where he can play a couple of years and be sold again. But then see if we wait another year or two to sell him, then the club that's buying him won't see any resale. So they'd maybe knock some money off the price for it.
I could even see Gedson go to Russia for 3 years and then come back. You know, I could even see that happen.
That'd be kind of cool.
But I think it's time for Gedson now with Orkun here. You have to move Gedson on now because Gedson has value and you are able to get maybe between 25 and 30 million for him. But first we need to get that 50% from Benfica probably, and there was no news on that. The reports were that we were that Serra Adala went to Lisbon to negotiate obviously for Orkun, but also to negotiate for Gedson for his 50%. And then, of course, the news came out that Spartak Moscow were in for him. Serjan Dikme posted that. And then it immediately got denied by the club. So I think what probably was the most likely scenario there is that Beşiktaş did not want that news out before they agreed terms with Benfica. And even it's possible now, because that news came out, that maybe that blew up a potential deal with Benfica because we haven't really heard any updates on it. So if that's the case, shame on you, Derjan Sikme.
I'm avoiding people talking about their ranking and stuff. You guys are cheating the system. Murder Merit, is there something called Hype on YouTube now, or is that just a super chat feature because Fida mentioned it on his podcast last week? I'll leave that for the group chat to answer.
I mean, if you want to leave the super chat, feel free.
That's true. On that note, Sarper says, since you are talking about Abile, I dislike Sally. There's something off with that guy. Yeah, I mean, something off is that he's off in 9 out of every 10 games. Man,
I'm going to tell you guys a story, right? So, my twin brother Özcan, some of you know who he is if you're in the community. He was in Marmaris with some friends in 2019, and this was like probably late July, even early August. And Sario Chan, who you think should be working his ass off to try to get, because he was a free agent at this point, and it's just before he signed with Alanyaspor. Should have been working his ass off, training all the time, but no. My brother saw Sario Chan in a nightclub in Marmaris, deep into pre-season, or just before the season started. So I think that tells you a lot about the attitude the player has.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the way he left Fenerbahce, and also the issues he had there with the coaches, with Aykut Kocaman and I think Ersun Yanal, and no, I think with Aykut actually, I don't remember, but you had issues there too. Like Salih is very talented, and if he had put his mind to it, I think he would have had a great career. But there's a reason he didn't succeed in Italy. There's a reason Fenerbahce let him go. There's a reason why he had to rekindle his career at Alanyaspor, and there's a reason why after his first season at Beşiktaş, we loaned him out to Başakşehir. And there's also a reason why every single coach that has been in charge of Beşiktaş has tried him and dropped him, because he is talented. He can win you games when he feels like it. Look at the cup final 2 years ago. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have the work ethic, it seems. And I think he's a bad example for young players because that rubs off on that is potentially rubs off on young players. So you need players with you need players like Orkun, players who have the right mentality and who have talent. Because you can have the right mentality like Neji, but if you're not talented, then you don't get the same respect. And I know Neji gets plenty of respect probably from the EU, but it's not the same, man. Like football, in the footballing community, in the footballing world, like footballers, game recognizes game and they respect that. But they don't respect... I mean, it's harder to respect a player that's works really, really, really hard, but has almost no talent. And I'm sorry to say, but Neji, for Beşiktaş level, is very untalented.
I think what Frane's asking about Kyle Walker-Peters, so it's not been confirmed by the club itself, but it's widely reported by all the more reliable journalists. I put that in quotation marks. Because they're not always very reliable, but normally if they're all saying the same thing, it means it's going to happen. So unless we get a Osai situation where they're demanding more money just before they get on the plane, Kyle Walker-Peters should be arriving in Istanbul at some point tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what is expected. And probably the club will communicate something tomorrow during the day in regards to his arrival time, I think. Although they don't always do that. Sometimes they leave it to the journalists. So...
But, I mean, it seems pretty clear they wanted to separate these events, give Orkun his flowers. Fully.
Yeah, well, reportedly, it is due to personal reasons for Kyle Walker-Peters. He had to get some affairs in order, apparently, so that's why they postponed it by 2 days, his arrival. But I think, as well, it's probably best this way. I think Orkun had to get his... imagine if they would have arrived at the airport at the same time. I think that would have...
Together?
Yeah, I think that would have been very anticlimactic for Kyle Walker-Peters. I mean, on one hand...
I think you would have felt bad for him a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like, he'd be like, oh, hi, everybody.
And on one hand, it would be really cool for him to be there and witness it, but then to realize it's not for you and it's for this other guy is kind of weird, right? So I think it's best that it got postponed, and hopefully when he arrives at the airport tomorrow, he still has still have a couple of hundred people there to greet him. Hopefully, I mean,
I bet we will. It
does seem to be,
especially since we beat Fener to him. I think our fans are gonna like.
And I also had the impression, at least from online, that people were very hyped about him and very hyped about his transfer, and like the fandom very unanimously was even when we were in for Osai. I saw a lot of people say, no, let's get Kyle Walker-Peters instead, and we're gonna end up doing that. So
we did it.
Hopefully that hype translates to a warm welcome at the airport for him as well.
All right, and our last comment, which means if you write anything from here on out, you're cut off. That's it. I'm reading The Sunshine Man is our closer. He says, watching the Orkun Fest at the stadium was horrible with Derjan Sikme and Oğuz Çetin blabbering incessantly without saying a darn thing of significance. I can't even imagine. However, the young, bold-headed speaker said, I don't know who that is, that he heard Mustafa being an easy learner and not show the resistance which Semi appears to display. Which, let's hope that's true.
Mustafa has a reputation.
And then he closes it out.
Mustafa has a great reputation behind the scenes. Like, he's seen as somebody who's very eager, who's super willing to learn and improve, and he has the right attitude. And that's also why I really want him to go out on loan, because I think with the right experience and a season or two under his belt, he could actually turn into a really, really good player for us, because he has the right attitude, he has the physical ability, and I think he has the talent. I don't think he's as much of a talent as Semi. I think Semi is much more talented, but at the end of the day, if you have talent and you have the right attitude, I think you can get farther than if you have more talent but the wrong attitude. So case in point, Saudi Uçan.
Look at Necip. Look at Necip. The guy's made it a whole 20 years because of his work ethic. Anyway, Sunshine Man, kidding aside, Gedson paying... I didn't know you were kidding. He said, Gedson paying Orkun's cost to Beşiktaş is entirely possible if the chairman can snatch 30 mil. Sunshine Man, my good friend Mary, I hate to remind you of that 50% that we still owe
but if
Benfica, because I don't think that's entirely
if we
true.
can negotiate Benfica to like 8 million or something for his rights, which is apparently was the money that Adala put that on the table or negotiated, was the offer he made. If we can get that 50% for 8, and we can sell him for 30, then we still make 22, right? So
yeah, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there.
Fingers crossed that we can get a deal done.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And actually, I there was one more comment. I feel bad. I don't want to cut this out because it came in before Sunshine Man.
Yeah.
I skipped it. And it's Ofus Auri who said, Ole needs Tammy to have a great season. It's a bit worrying not to have more options up front. My reaction to that, Ofus, is that it's not too late.
Yeah.
You know, we still need a 6. We need a winger.
Yeah.
And so to add a backup striker is not unreasonable. I think it's not too late for us to fill in that position. But I think we probably all here anyway agree that it is a necessity.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Would you guys be willing to go on the record with that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I've said this last summer as well, right? I want a battering ram on the bench. I want somebody who can.
You wanted a Weghorst.
I want someone like Weghorst, like you can bring him on last 15-20 minutes if you need a goal, and he's gonna have that chance. He's gonna create chaos in the box, and he's gonna hopefully get on the end of a cross or something like that. That's what I really, really want. But I think that we will get that. But I think we'll wait until later in the window for an opportunity. For example, somebody like an Embolo, if he hasn't been offloaded yet by Monaco by the end of the window, I think, I think that is perfect. I think what we did in the past years was always, we put off important key signings until the windows close in Europe, and then we go and try and shop in the bargain bin. But we're shopping in the bargain bin for starters. I think you should shop in the bargain bin for depth. That's the perfect approach to utilize that advantage that we have by having a transfer window that stays open for longer. But you have to utilize it for that, for getting that pinch hitter on the bench, perhaps, while you already have your number 1 secured. I think that's what we're gonna end up doing. And if we do end up doing that, I'm gonna give Settle Adala a 10 out of 10 for his transfer window, for the transfer window. If also we manage to offload players like Musrati and so on, then I'm gonna give him a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And it's
Kartal, what are your thoughts? Backup striker, we need it for sure.
I mean, we definitely need depth as well. But look, let's just finish the top oven first, and then we can focus on that. But I'm sure we will at least have a decent backup striker, because we definitely need one. We can't have another season like last year where the second option after Immobile is Hikimol.
Yeah, and also if you look at these friendlies, like that's almost an illustration of that poverty in depth, because as soon as we take a couple of players off, like the quality dips so much. You have to imagine that there's going to be like a period where maybe Tammy Abraham is suspended, God forbid he picks up a long-term injury. You need to have someone that you're able to trust then. And, I'm sorry, but Mustafa and Simi, we can't trust them with that. If we have to go 3 months without Tammy Abraham, we need to have a viable option on the bench, And I think someone like and I know Ural isn't going to like this, but I think someone like Weghorst would be a good candidate for that,
Yeah, I'm in on it. All right. Well, I think that about does it. We got someone named H-Bag writing Beşiktaş, which, that's what we're here for. That's definitely what we're here for. I guess what's left to say besides the closing out? Obviously, stay tuned. We'll be back. Our next friendly is on Wednesday, July 16th against Wolfsburger, which I think is now we're in the top flight of Austria. We'll follow that up with another friendly the next day against FC Petržalka, 1898, which is a Slovakian side.
I'm curious if that's going to lead to the first game against Wolfsburger, where essentially you play full 90, like the players get full 90s, or 80, 75 minutes, instead of 45 minutes each, like we did in these past 2 games.
And maybe that's why we have back-to-back friendlies,
exactly.
right? So you just play the kid. The second game is for the kid.
Yeah.
And that's why it's against the Slovakian team.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking right now, because it's back-to-back days, and probably is going to be something like that, where you're not changing the entire level at halftime. You're actually doing 2 different teams on 2 days, probably.
Yeah. As for Sleepy Gilraith's final comment, I don't know if that means something. DDTTIOF. I have no idea. Is that an abbreviation? Anyone? DDT, isn't that like a
It's a
chemical
it's
spray?
a wrestling move, man. Jake the Snake Roberts' finisher.
You know, it comes from, I think it was the stuff they sprayed in Vietnam. They're like, it's like a chemical.
The foam? Or
the stuff that, well, there's Agent Orange. I mean, we're way off topic. Anyway, what's most important here, obviously stay tuned. We'll be back. If not, probably after this next round of friendlies, I would imagine, unless a big transfer comes in for us to talk about. Obviously, stay tuned. Like, follow, subscribe. Check out the Patreon for sure. I'm sure Kaan is going to have some content coming up this week. Surely there will be another Schwarting report in about a half a month, no doubt, with my preseason power rankings incoming. And besides that,
the QR code. Scan the QR code to join our.
Oh yeah, scan the QR code to join. Yeah, to join the WhatsApp group chat. That's important. And like the video, comment. All of that stuff goes a long way.
Subscribe.
Obviously, the community is growing.
Subscribe to our Spotify if you prefer to listen on Spotify or something like that. We're on there as well, including in video format. So we're both on YouTube and Spotify in video. Apple Podcasts, of course, so you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts. You can also subscribe to our VIP podcast on Spotify and on Apple, I think, as well. But then, of course, you have to join our Patreon, patreon.com/BishopPodcast, $1.99 a month. Or alternatively, you can join us on YouTube, become a member there, and you gain access to all those cool little emojis and stuff like that. Just 99 cents on there, but a little bit less content because certain copyrighted things we simply cannot post on YouTube and are exclusive to Patreon. But why don't you just double up? It's still only $2.98 a month if you get both the YouTube and Patreon subscription, and you would really, really help us out to continue to improve our quality and continue to do this. We're going on 8 years. We've put a lot of money, sweat and tears into this project, but
someone writes,
my dog wants to
"You
say
got
hi."
this." Berat says, "You got this." Thank you, sir. But so, along those lines, I would be remiss not to say, as per usual, let's go Beşiktaş! Peace out, everybody! Let's go! What do we got? Who's getting a shout out today? Orkun Kökçü, Mr. No Comment. Mr. Baseball, Nathan Davis. The finish, not Swedish kebab. Tristan Berkey Gray, Michael Berry, Umer, Mr. Positive, Kunal, Yara, the Irishman Hensi, Mario 1 and the 2 and the 3, Marcus, Niall Tariq, Sebastian, the not sporting director, Heinz, the Punisher, Vigilante Turk, Nasser, Mr. Man U / and of course, the indomitable, indubitable, indefatigable. What happened? I'm not yelling
sorry.
The Dutch Eagle! Peace out!